Yeehaw, soldiers. So originally I was going to make this, fanfic reading around, chapters 11 through 15. I was going to read all those chapters, but chapter 11 was so long in the process of recording this video that I was like, that's not happening anymore. Sorry, no. It was just like way too long because chapter 11 took me around an hour to record, and chapter 12 was pretty long too. Chapter 13 was not as long, and it felt like a good place to end, so I cut 2 chapters in 14 and 15, and instead of doing, chapters 11 through 15, it's going to be legacy chapters 11 through 13. So, yeah, that's kind of the deal here. Now, again, you guys might be slightly disappointed, but don't worry, this allows the series to keep going on and going to 2021 and going on for a little bit longer. So, yeah, I guess you guys will like that. Anyways, get ready for nuclear release Naruto on Saturday and Sunday, depends on how quickly I can write the script. And also after that, I'll be introducing something pretty special to you guys, as I'll be probably starting a new series. And probably around that time, I'll also be uploading with Deck of Spider-Man's powers, and also starting some new fanfics as well, in addition to this legacy reading. So get ready for that type of stuff. And also, I'll be introducing new content on the channel, especially probably within next week, and also within January and February, as those are going to be very experimental months for me. So get ready for that. And before we get into this fanfic reading, first off, donate to my Patreon. If you want rewards such as, shoutouts or some extra content, go donate to my Patreon. It allows you to get some rewards if you donate to me. So if you want to donate to me and get some rewards for that, go donate to my Patreon. Also, join my Discord server and follow me on Twitter at MSH4 and Instagram at anime_stage4. I'll explain why you should follow such join us at the end of the video. So I guess do that. And again, watch the community tab like a hawk. That's pretty important, again, because you get updates and stuff like that, specifically on the process of videos like this, because this took a lot of time to make, especially with recording the audio for every chapter reading. So yeah, that's fun. And also to re-record the original intro I had for this, because, well, that intro was kind of rendered null and void as I was reading the fanfic, so fun. And yeah, that's probably about it for this intro, and let's get into the fanfic reading as we go through chapters 11 through 13. Let's begin. Chapter 11, Mission to the Wave. The past few days flew by with Kurenai's team. They would train in the morning and do a couple of missions in the afternoon. Obviously, Naruto always complained since Naruto wanted to test his skills in the real world, but Hinata was always present to bonk him on the head. Who would have thought that of the little shy Hinata? Kurenai was very surprised with the skill level that Naruto and Hinata displayed. If she had to judge them, then the QB nailed it by saying that they had Chunin level skills. Their teams were in fact comprised of by one Chunin sensei, 2 green Chunins, and a poor game lost in the middle. Naruto, Hinata, and Kurenai would never leave Shina behind, so they began focusing more on him so he could be brought up to speed. Naruto, with the help of Kurenai, started on Kage level exercises for chakra control. He had 2 exercises that he needed to do to bring his control to the highest level possible. The first was waterfall climbing. This exercise allowed, when mastered, the user to control vast amounts of chakra with great precision, since climbing waterfall is extremely hard. The last exercise allowed one to have perfect chakra control, almost rivaling Tsunade the Slug Sanin. This particular exercise was rather practical to perform. The user deposited a chunk of sand with multiple colors in his hand. The point of the exercise was to separate and align the sand by color using only chakra. It was considered mastered when the user managed to do this in less than 10 seconds. Hinata didn't have any weaknesses per se. She had overall good skills, whether it be in ninjutsu, taijutsu, genjutsu, or even kenjutsu. Her chakra control was flawless since it was a basic requirement for her Jukin, the gentle fist, or her flowing fist. Shinohara was on a different level. His taijutsu was low gain level since he was a long range fighter, their typical weakness. His ninjutsu was the free basic academy jutsus coupled with his clan's jutsus. His genjutsu was non-existent. Overall, he was about mid-genin in skill. However, they would change that as Naruto placed a few restriction seals on him since it was too abrupt if he started using gravity seals. They decided to start his elemental training since everyone on his team already had theirs mastered. Surprisingly, he had earth and water, both defensive elements. His team was the perfect storm of offense and defense. In fact, his nature served him well above anyone else. As a long-range fighter, normally his weaknesses would be close combat, which was solved by his training in affinities. Along with all this training, they also did teamwork exercises. One of the things that made Konoha the strongest in the Elemental Nations was their notion of teamwork and loyalty above all else. Their teamwork was excellent as none of them had any problems with each other. Currently we find Teammate or Team Kurenai heading towards Hokage's office after a morning of training. I should clarify the last statement, it was trained for Naruto, Hinata, and Kurenai, but for Shino, one would call it torture. The poor game was thrown to the ground in order to gain the physical attributes he needed. Hokage's mission room, assignment room. The old Hokage was sitting in the middle of the table smoking on his pipe while handing missions to the shinobi. To his left side was Iruka, the school teacher of the students of Team 8. The Hokage was deep in thought, remembering his prime, the thrill of the fights, and the adrenaline pumping through his system. Not many shinobi have the privilege of growing old. The shinobi's life expectancy was actually around 30 years, and reaching old age was very rare. However, any shinobi that reached such age began to reminisce all they did in their lives. Since shinobi since birth are trained to fight, and fight they do. It is all they know throughout their lives, and there is no greater death than death at the hands of your enemy in the midst of battle. However, being taken by old age isn't something any warrior would want. Hiruzen Sarutobi, third Hokage of Konoha, and hailed as Shinobi no Kami, or God of Shinobi. The man that had seen 2 great ninja wars and lived has been reduced to nothing but a paper pusher. Don't get me wrong, he loved his village and his place as Hokage, but his time was near its end. It was time to pass his hat and have the younger generation assume his place. He was snapped out of his thoughts when he saw a teammate walking through the door. It always brought a smile to his face seeing Naruto and even Hinata. He was like a grandfather to both of them since Hinata was expelled by her father. He didn't know why, but Naruto's smile always managed to cheer him up no matter how depressed the man was. Naruto was, for lack of a better word, a bundle of happiness. It surprised him how, despite the glares and hatred he received, Naruto managed to keep a cheerful and loving personality. Teammate, reporting for duty, Hokage-sama, Kurenai said, bowing to the Hokage. Even though the Hokage was clearly old, he still was a very powerful shinobi and one of the strongest in the Leaf Village. Teammates, welcome. Let's see what we got here, the Hokage said, receiving the D-rank scrolls from Iruka. We have cleaned the Inuzuka's kennel, capturing Tora, helping Olay move to a new house. The Hokage never managed to finish. Old man, we'll take catching Tora, Naruto said, smirking. The Hokage raised an eyebrow. No one liked chasing that damn cat, and Naruto had already done it in the past. Are you serious, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked, not really in the mood for running after a damn cat. What people don't know is that Tora is actually a ninja cat, trained specifically for helping getting teams with their teamwork. Just trust me, Naruto replied, picking up the mission scroll. Hey old man, what is the record for catching Tora? Naruto asked with a knowing grin. I think it's around 3 hours, but why do you ask? Do you intend to break it, Hokage asked. Something like that, Naruto replied. He went back to the middle of the room and took a small scroll from his pocket. He unrolled the scroll to show a small, intricate seal in it. He placed it on the ground, and then Naruto bit his thumb, drawing blood, and slammed it in the seal, saying, Kuchiyos no Jutsu, or Summoning Jutsu, and there was a puff of smoke. When the smoke cleared, in the middle of the scroll was Tora. The Hokage's eyes almost popped out of his sockets, and Naruto just laughed at everyone's expressions. Mission accomplished, Hokage-sama, and I believe it's a new record, Naruto said, laughing his ass off and delivering the cat to the Hokage. How did you do that, Naruto? Kurenai asked. Even she had to chase that damn cat in her getting days. I already had to chase her a few times in the past, and somewhere along the way I got tired and placed a summoning seal on the cat. So I just offered a bit of blood and chakra, and I can summon Tora through the seal on the scroll. Naruto explained, and Hokage and Kurenai just nodded dumbly. Kurenai-sensei, since I already got Tora and set the record for about 15 seconds, do you want another mission? Naruto asked. Kurenai didn't have time to answer as suddenly there was a puff of smoke and Hokage's desk revealing a small dog. He had brown fur and wore a Konoha hitate around his head. A dog? Naruto asked, wondering who it was from. This is Pakun, a messenger and tracking dog from Kakashi, Hokage explained. Hokage-sama, I have a message from Kakashi, Pakun said, handing the scroll to the Hokage. The Hokage opened it and it said, Hokage-sama, our client Tazuna lied about the mission parameters. It appears that the wave is under Gakuto's control and he wants Tazuna dead. We were attacked by Demon Brothers Gosu and Mitsu of Kirigakur, and we defeated them. We decided to continue, however, I request backup since most likely we'll be attacked again, this time probably by a joint level Nukinen, or Missing Ninja. Hatake Kakashi, joining Sensei of Team 7. Teammates, the Hokage started getting their attention. It appears that the C-rank mission I gave to Team 7 was bumped into a low A-rank mission. Kakashi requested backup, so I'm saying you. He'll explain everything when you meet with him. Dismissed. Hi, teammate said. Okay, team, go home and get your supplies. Meet me at North Gate in 1 hour, Kunai said, and they all left the room and went to prepare for their first Eric mission. North Gate 1 hour later. 1 hour later, teammate gathered at the North Gate, getting ready for departure. Kunai inspected everyone's supplies as it was the duty of a Jonin sensei. Okay, team, before we depart, everyone has their supplies. Kunai, shuriken, food, first aid kit, soldier pills. Kunai asked and got nods from everyone. Since we'll be traveling at high speeds, we'll reach Team 7 in a couple of hours. However, we don't know which route Kakashi took, so we'll be taking the main one, Kunai said. No need, sensei. Do you still have the message Kakashi sent? Naruto asked. Yes, I do. Why? Kunai asked, wondering what good it would do. Naruto bit his phone, drying blood and spraying across his right palm, and he went through a few hand seals, boar, dog, bird, monkey, ram, and slammed his hand on the ground and said, Kuchios no Jutsu, summoning technique. There was a poof of smoke, and when it cleared, in front of him stood a medium-sized brown fox with 5 tails. Flashback.
Hey kid, come into the seal. I want to talk to you,
the Kyuubi said. Naruto was currently 10 years old. He sat on the ground in the lowest position and started meditating. After a few seconds, Naruto stood in front of the Kyuubi, who was currently laying on the ground beneath a large tree. You need something, Kurama? Naruto asked. Actually, Kurama was the Kyuubi's real name. It appears that young Naruto grew on the Kyuubi and he trusted him with his name.
I'm giving you a birthday present,
Kurama said, smirking. Is it a big, flashy jutsu? Naruto asked, excited. During Naruto's birthday, October 10th, Konoha always celebrated the Kyuubi's defeat by the young Daime. Some of the villagers would gather up and try to harm Naruto, so his birthdays were always dark for him. But the Kyuubi, Hinata, and the Hokage always managed to cheer him up.
It's a great technique, and you'll be the first to use it. I trust you'll use it wisely,
Kurama said, and in front of him materialized a rather big scroll.
This is a summoning contract for the Fox clan. Open it and write your name in blood in the first slot,
Kurama explained. Naruto did as he was told. He opened the scroll and bit his thumb. He wrote his name in the first slot and pressed all 5 fingers down, making a handprint.
Now, to summon a fox, to help you bite your thumb and go for these hand seals. Boar, dog, bird, monkey, ram, and pour chakra into the technique. Give it a try,
Kurama explained. Naruto did the technique, and when it was over, in front of him stood a small fox. Thanks, Kurama. You're the best, Naruto said.
Of course I am. I'm the 9-tailed fox, king of the Bijou, strongest being in the world,
Kurama boasted about himself. You still have that stick up your ass, Naruto said, laughing while dodging the Kyuubi tails that were trying to smash him. End of the flashback. Naruto, you need help? The fox asked. Yes, Kinto. We need to track Kakashi-sensei to provide backup. This paper has a scent, Naruto said, and gave the paper to Kinto so he could track him. I have him. When you are ready, Kinto said, and Team 8 dashed out of Konoha heading towards Team 7. I didn't know you could summon Naruto, Kunai said. I have the Fox summoning contract. It was a gift from the Kyuubi, Naruto explained, getting a nod from Kunai. She didn't want to pry too much. A few hours later with Team 7. Team 7 had just let the boat that they used to cross into the Land of Waves. Everyone was walking it at a civilian pace since they had Tazuna with them. Tazuna was, as he put, a super amazing bridge builder. They were traveling in diamond formation, Sasuke in front, Sakura and Kiba to the sides, and Kakashi in the back with Tazuna in the middle of them. They were walking calmly, but they had their guard up, since Kakashi warned them about a possible Jonin encounter. Suddenly, Kiba sensed someone in the bushes, and quickly picked up a kunai and threw at the bushes. Baka, stop playing with kunai, Sakura yelled. I'm not playing, I thought someone was there, Kiba replied, and went to check the bushes, only to find a small white rabbit. Kiba, you idiot, you almost killed this poor rabbit, Sakura said, and that sent Kakashi thinking. White fur during spring? That's strange. Unless with what was used as a Kararimi substitution technique. Get down! Kakashi yelled, and everybody hit the deck with Kakashi dragging Tazuna. Just as he yelled above them, a huge broad metal sword flew by their heads and got stuck in a tree. Moments later, on top of the sword appeared a person. He was a tall and noticeably muscular man with pale skin, short, spiky black hair, brown eyes, and small eyebrows. He was wearing bandages with a mask over the bottom of his face. Under his mask, he had a relatively narrow jawline and jagged teeth. He wore his sword protector sideways to his head. What's this? A bunch of kids playing ninja, the shinobi said. Momoichi Sabuza, A-rank Nukenin from Kirigakure, also known as Demon of Kirigakure, Mist Village. Kakashi said, preparing to face him in battle. Oh, look, if it isn't Sharingan no Kakashi, the shinobi now identified as Zabuza said, just hand me the old man and you can go. You know I can't do that, Zabuza, Kakashi said, and lifted his Hitate, revealing a fully matured Sharingan in his left eye. I get the Sharingan right in the beginning? I'm honored, Zabuza said, removing his sword and making a few hand seals, and he said, Kirigakure no Jutsu, Mist Technique. The air started becoming thicker, and after a few seconds, the whole area was covered in a thick mist. Kakashi barely managed to see his own hands right in front of him. Team, keep your senses sharp. Zabuza is a master of the silent killing technique, Kakashi said, and his entire team shivered. I demand you show your face, Zabuza, and face me, Sasuke yelled. A Jonin was someone he could try his power on, and once he defeated him, he would be closer to killing his brother. Are you serious? Zabuza asked rhetorically, projecting his voice around the area not to reveal his position. Zabuza started unleashing ki, or killer intent, and Sasuke started shivering. Sasuke couldn't take it anymore and brought his kunai to his neck, preparing to commit seppuku. Relax, Sasuke. I won't let my teammates die, Kakashi said, reassuring his team. Suddenly, Zabuza appeared in the middle of Sasuke, Kiba, and Sakura, and as they were guarding Tazuna, he brought his sword and started a horizontal slash ready to kill them all. However, Kakashi was faster and impaled Zabuza, revealing him to be a Misu, or Water Bushin. Later, Zabuza appeared behind Kakashi and cleaved him in half, only for Kakashi to burst into water. Zabuza, seeing this, suddenly felt sharp metal to his throat, and he slowly turned and saw Kakashi with a kunai ready to kill him. However, Kakashi wasn't expecting this Zabuza to be a clone. Seeing Zabuza in front of him burst into water, he looked around only to be met with a fierce kick to his stomach, sending him crashing into a nearby lake. Zabuza shunshin to Kakashi and went through a couple of hand seals and said, Suiton, Suri no Jutsu, or the water prison technique. The water around Kakashi started to erupt and circled around him, trapping him inside. Zabuza stood there with his hand on the water spirit, holding Kakashi in place. Shit, I got caught, Kakashi fought. Everyone, take Tazuna and run. His Mitsubushins can't go too far from the original, Kakashi said. His team was in a bad place, and he could only hope his backup arrived in time. Zabuza can't stand up to me. I'm an elite, Sasuke said, and dashed forward toward the enemy, and Zabuza then created a few Misu Bunshins. Sasuke engaged in a taijutsu fight with him, but quickly realized it was a bad idea. Sasuke couldn't keep up with Zabuza's speed and strength. The battle was over quickly when Zabuza gave a strong kick to Sasuke and that sent him crashing into the trees hard. Sasuke couldn't even get up and could barely breathe. You should have run when you had the chance. You can't even scratch me, Zabuza said. The arrogance of that boy got him killed. Zabuza's clone picked up his sword and went to finish the job. Sakura was shaking and she barely managed to stand up, and Tazuna was already on the floor as his legs already gave out. Kiba, seeing Sasuke in danger, ran towards Zabuza. Sasuke may be an idiot and an arrogant bastard, but he couldn't let him be killed. Kiba arrived near Zabuza and went for a punch, but Zabuza simply caught his wrist and with the other hand lifted Kiba by the neck and started punching him relentlessly. After a few punches, he simply threw him to the ground. Zabuza was making his way to Sakura, who was still frozen in place. Sakura knew she couldn't match Zabuza. She only graduated because of her good chakra control and book smarts. All hope seemed lost until Zabuza heard Katon, Ryoka no Jutsu, or a Dragonfire technique. Zabuza didn't have time to dodge. A stream of hot fire came from the woods, completely obliterating the clone. In front of Tazuna and Sakura arrived Naruto, Hinata, Shino, and Kurenai. Naruto looked around and it didn't look good. Kakashi was trapped inside a water prison, and Sasuke and Kiba were on the ground injured. Quick, gather Sasuke and Kiba around Tazuna and Sakura, Naruto said, and Kurenai and Hinata quickly picked up both Sasuke and Kiba and regrouped around Tazuna. Kuchios no Jutsu, or Summoning Jutsu, Naruto said, slamming his hand on the ground, and in a puff of smoke appeared a small fox with light red fur with 4 tails. You must be our summoner, Naruto-sama. My name is Kagura, a medic fox, the fox said. Nice to meet you. I need your help. Sasuke and Kiba seem injured, and I need you to help them as soon as you can. I'll cover you, Naruto said. Fox summons? Where'd you get the contract? I need to talk to him if we actually get out of this, Kakashi thought. Kakashi actually already knew Naruto since he sometimes watched Naruto from afar, trying to make sure he was safe. After all, Kakashi was one of the prize students of the young Daimyo Hokage. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto said, and 4 clones appeared. They went their separate ways, making a square around Tazuna, Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba, and Kagura. Ninpo Shishinjin, ninja art, four flames formation, the clone said at the same time. Suddenly a purple barrier erupted around them, making sure that Zabuza couldn't get inside. Don't touch the walls, otherwise you'll get burned. The barrier will stay up for your protection, Naruto explained. Oh, a Gain who knows Funjutsu. Maybe you are better than the rest, Zabuza said, creating a couple more Mizu Bunshins. Inside the barrier, both Sakura and Tasuno sighed happily that the backup had arrived. Kageru was currently healing them, and Sasuke had cracked ribs and a ruptured lung, while Kiba had a few bruises and a dislocated shoulder. Outside the barrier. First, we need to release Kakashi from the prison, Kurenai said, and her team nodded. The Mizu Bunshins made their way towards Kurenai's team, and one of them said, Kirigaku no Jutsu. A thick mist appeared, blocking view of everyone. Hinata activated Byakugan, but couldn't see much as the mist was laced with chakra. Naruto activated Sharingan and expanded his senses trying to find Zabuza. However, he felt the presence of someone watching the fight. That person was around Chunin level skill based on chakra levels. Someone's watching. Since he didn't help Tasuno, I can only assume he's with Zabuza, Naruto thought, and discreetly used hand signs warning his team about another shinobi watching. Futon, Daitopa, great breakthrough, Naruto said, and Naruto said at the same time. They breathed in air and sent a strong gust of wind that pushed the mist away completely, making Zabuza frown. Each member of teammates separated and engaged the clones. Naruto quickly destroys Zabuza's clone with a fireball, and taking this opportunity took a kunai, charged it with Raiton Lightning Chakra, and he threw it at the woods with extreme speed. The shinobi who was watching didn't expect that and didn't have time to react, and the kunai embedded deeply in his shoulder. The shinobi, seeing he was caught, jumped into the fight and took his side by Zabuza. How did you know about Haku? Zabuza asked, surprised that they found Haku. She was rather skilled in stealth. And by the way, here's an office note right here that you guys are probably going to like. Haku in this one is a girl, and it's because the author can't really see her as a guy even in canon. We are a team of trackers, and I'm a sensor, so when you use your Kirigaku no Jutsu, I extended my senses and found him, Naruto explained. It doesn't matter. Let's end it now, Zabuza said, and Haku went through a few hand signs. Slamming her fist into the lake, she said, Sensatsu Shuisho, 1,000 needles of death, and sent 1,000 water needles towards teammate. Hinata, Naruto said, just above a whisper. Hi, she replied, and jumped in front of her team and started spinning. She started releasing chakra from all her chakra points. I catch Shokaiten, heavenly spin, and she said, and a blue demo chakra appeared around her, deflecting all the needles. Looks like I'll have to start training my team seriously, thought Kakashi. He was infusing his lungs with chakra, trying to gain as much time as he could. Teammate quickly dispatched the Mizu Bunshins, and then Naruto and I went for a few hand signs, and they said, Gaton, Ryuku no Jutsu, Dragon Fire Technique, Naruto said. Futon, Daitopa, Great Breakthrough, Hinata said. Naruto's fire attack combined with Hinata's wind attack, and the result was a massive stream of fire that went quickly towards Zabuza. Haku didn't have much time to use water jutsu because of her injured shoulder. Both of them jumped away, making Zabuza release his hold of the water prison, freeing Kakashi. Kakashi tried to regain his breath as he jumped towards teammate. Thanks, Kakashi said and crouched. Haku, we are leaving, Zabuza said and swinshed away with Haku. He knew he wouldn't stand a chance as he was up against Yui Kurenai, Konoha's Genjutsu mistress, but not only that, he was also up against the blonde kid and the Hyuga girl as they both seemed very good, and besides that, Kakashi was now free. Naruto dropped the barrier and went up to check on his injured teammates. How is everyone? Naruto asked Sakura, who was finishing up healing Kiba. Sakura was surprised how strong Naruto and Hinata were and how they worked well together. I already healed them. Their injuries aren't life-threatening. This one, Kagura said, pointing to Sasuke, needs to take it easy for a few days. He had a ruptured lung. Tazuna, take us to your house. Zabuza will be back and we need to be prepared, Kakashi said, and they left with Kurenai carrying Sasuke as he couldn't make any effort and was still unconscious. Tazuna's house. A few miles down the road, and Team 7 and 8 arrived with Tazuna at his house. The house itself was near the ocean and seemed like a pretty simple wooden house. Tazuna led the shinobi inside. Tsunami, I'm home, Tazuna said, happy that he was finally home. Father, Tsunami said, hugging him, I'm relieved that you are alright. Tsunami was a very beautiful woman. She had mid-length dark blue hair and black eyes. She wore a pink shirt with red sleeves and a dark blue skirt. It's thanks to Shinobi. They saved me, Tazuna said. Tsunami approached his protective detail and bowed, saying, Thank you for protecting my father, Shinobi-san. You are welcome to our house. We appreciate it. Is there anywhere we can link two of my students who got injured in a fight? Kakashi asked. Tsunami nodded and led the leader joining to the room upstairs. Sakura, Kakashi said, gaining her attention. Tomorrow we will be trained more seriously. We need to be prepared for when Zabuza returns. Since Naruto injured his teammate, it will be a few days until he's ready. How is a little bit of training going to help us against a Jonin? Sakura asked, worrying if her sensei was trying to kill her. Sakura, who was it that saved us? Kakashi asked rhetorically. If I remember correctly, the Genin of Team 8 actually put up a fight against Zabuza while Kiba and Sasuke were simply hammered away, Kakashi explained, making Kurenai smirk inwardly. Fine, but I still don't understand how a few days will help us, Sakura kept pressing. Any train is good for you. If you have to face Zabuza, at least let's raise the odds, even if slightly, Kakashi said, to which Sakura finally nodded. Kakashi got up and approached Naruto, who was chatting with his team. Naruto, Kakashi said, getting Naruto's attention. How do you know my name? Naruto asked. You may not know, but I actually watched over you sometimes when you were around 4 years old, Kakashi said. Inu? Naruto asked, remembering Ananbu with a dog mask, sometimes helping him with the mob's problems before he met his father and the whole train began. That I am, he replied, giving his traditional eye smile. Come, Kakashi said, placing his hand on his shoulder. We need to talk privately. Naruto nodded, and they both shunted to outside of the house to a nearby woods. Naruto and Kakashi in the woods. Kakashi and Naruto arrived in the woods via the traditional leaf shunshin that Kakashi used. That shunshin is really starting to get old. Why don't you use an elemental shunshin? Naruto asked. Pretty much all of Konoha always used the leaf shunshin, and while it got the job done, it was, for lack of a better word, lame. Kakashi raised an eyebrow and asked Naruto, can you do an elemental shunshin? He asked, to which Naruto nodded and used his light shunshin to teleport a few meters away, and then Kakashi was actually surprised to see a Genin use the Shunshin no Jutsu, much less an elemental version. I see you can, Kakashi said, and by looks of it, you already have the light element mastered. How? Naruto studied the man for a moment. Even though he helped him several times when he was young, people tend to change. After a few seconds, he found no deception, and he decided to answer him. I've been training myself since I was 5 years old, Naruto replied, and Kakashi was actually surprised to see someone without a clan training at such a young age. However, he quickly remembered his burden, and he needed to be strong to withstand all the hate of his village. I see. Maybe I can teach a few light jutsu since my affinity is the same, but we are getting off topic here, Kakashi said. How can you summon foxes? Kakashi asked. Naruto froze, wondering if he should tell him the truth about the Kyuubi. There are many people that tried to get close to Naruto to finish him off, however he decided he should trust them. It was a gift from the Kyuubi, Naruto said, making Kakashi glare at him. Suddenly the air between the two dropped a few degrees. Naruto, Kakashi started in a very serious tone, however Naruto didn't flinch. He was already used to it from the villagers and simply shrugged it off. The Kyuubi attacked our village and almost destroyed it. You cannot trust him. Naruto, hearing this, really started cursing his luck. It was always the same. Every time he met someone and told someone about the Kyuubi, everyone would tell him that he couldn't be trusted. Kakashi-san, the Kyuubi was being controlled by the Sharingan and was forced to attack the village. It wasn't his fault, Naruto said, and Kakashi's visible eye widened. Only Uchiha Madara managed to control the Kyuubi, and he was long dead. Kakashi studied Naruto for any signs of lies, but found none. However, he decided that he should talk to the Hokage about this new development. Better make sure. I'll trust you, but keep in mind that foxes are very cunning, Kakashi said. Kakashi-san, remember that if it weren't for the medical fox or something, Sasuke probably wouldn't have made it. Naruto stressed, and Kakashi nodded, saying it was probably true. You remind me of the Yondaime, always seeing good in everyone, Kakashi said, reminiscing about his gang days where he was always a fool until his best friend died to save him. Yondaime? Naruto asked, wondering how Kakashi knew him until it finally clicked. On one of the days, Naruto was wandering through the Namikaze compound. He found a picture of his father's gang team. There was a silver-haired boy with a mask covering the bottom half of his face, a pretty girl with brown hair and 2 red marks on each cheek, and lastly a boy with black spiky hair, black eyes, and orange goggles. Naruto turned the picture in and said, Namikaze Minato, Hatake Kakashi, Inuzuka Rin, and Uchiha Obito. Ah! Naruto yelled, making Kakashi jump. I remember now. You were on my father's gang team with Rin and Obito, right? Yes, that's right. Your father? Kakashi said, stuttering. Naruto was the son of the Yondaime Hokage. How could he be so blind? For the love of God, he's pretty much a carbon copy of him. How the hell was Konoha so blind? He should have been there for his sensei's son. He should have done more. Ah, shit, Naruto said, knowing that he let that part slip up. Naruto started panicking on the inside. It wasn't supposed to be revealed yet. Kakashi-san, you can't tell anyone until I reveal it, Naruto said. Don't worry, I know very well why you can't say it right now, Kakashi said, easing boy's worries. And, I'm sorry. I should have been there for you, and if I had known, I would have taken you in, Kakashi said with his head down. Don't worry about it. It wasn't so bad. If you had taken me and I wouldn't have met Hinata-chan, Naruto said. Kakashi perked up and asked, Hinata-chan? Hinata's father disavowed her from the Hyuga clan when she was 8 years old because she was weak, and since then she's been living with me. Besides, she's my girlfriend, Naruto explained, and Kakashi actually broke out in a fit of giggles. If you're thinking what I think you are, I'm going to hurt you, Naruto said, breaking Kakashi of his perverted thoughts. Okay, but she'll be a sane girl in a couple of years. You did well snatching her while young, Kakashi said, and Naruto growled, which is Jonin simply ruffled his hair. What the heck is happening right now, says the narrator. Actually, I was wondering if you could tell me about my parents, Naruto asked shyly. I asked Hokage Jiji, but he never had really a prolonged contact with them. Of course, I knew them very well. For starters, I can tell you that you adopted your mother's obsession for ramen, Kakashi said, laughing and getting a smile from Naruto. And so they talked for a few hours. Kakashi told everyone he knew about them, which was most about his father since he knew him better than his mother. They talked, and the hours were passing by without either of them realizing until the sky was already dark. Well, Naruto, I think it's time we get back. It's already getting dark, Kakashi said. Thanks for telling me about them, Nissan, or brother, Naruto said, feeling like he bonded with Kakashi. After all, since Kakashi's father's death, he grew closer to his sensei. The Undying was the closest thing he had for a father. Nissan, you say? Okay, let's go, Ototo, younger brother. And Kakashi said, ruffling his hair and leaving the forest with him. The next day. After teams arrived, we find everyone quietly enjoying breakfast prepared by Tsunami. They were eating until Kakashi decided to break the ice and explain a few things. Everyone, Kakashi said, gained everyone's attention. After this, we are going to train as I explained to Sakura yesterday. Zabuza will be back and probably bring some help, so we need to be ready. We will alternate between protecting Tazuna at the bridge and protecting his family and training, Kakashi explained, and everyone nodded. They continued eating for a few minutes until everyone was finished. Sasuke was already getting better from his injuries and could walk, however he still couldn't do anything physical or it would be very stressful for his body. Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba, Naruto, and Nada will come with me to train while Kurenai and Shino will stay and protect Tsunami and Inari. After the train, I'll take some of you to the bridge to protect Tazuna. Everybody agreed, Kakashi asked, and everyone nodded. A few minutes later, Kakashi's team accompanied by Sasuke and Kiba left the house for training. In the woods for training. Okay, now we'll train chakra control, Kakashi said. Chakra control, Sakura asked? Yes, we all know how to call upon chakra, however, you don't know how to properly use and manage it. By doing this exercise, you'll be able to last longer in fights and learn new jutsu faster, Kakashi explained, and Naruto wondered what type of exercise it would be. Now, I'll be climbing trees, Kakashi said, and Naruto's sweat dropped. Kakashi Nissan, don't tell me you brought your team into an A-rank mission without even teaching them proper chakra control, Naruto asked, and Kakashi actually felt ashamed of not teaching more personal skills. Don't sweat, Dobie. We already know how to climb trees, Sasuke said, and Sakura agreed. Naruto just shook his head, knowing that Sasuke didn't understand the point of the exercise. Actually, I focus more on teamwork exercises. You know how Sasuke and Kiba act. They're both brash and tend to jump in situations without thinking, Kakashi said, and both Sasuke and Kiba scowled. Wait, you call Kakashi-sensei Nissan? I thought you had no one, Sasuke asked. He's not actually my brother by blood, but we're both orphans, and we both look at the same person as our father, Naruto explained, and Nada raised an eyebrow. She knew who Naruto's father was, which means that Kakashi must have been close to Yondaime. Enough chit-chat. What I want you to do is focus chakra to the bottom of your feet and walk through trees. When you can walk up to the top 2 times in a row, we'll move on, Kakashi explained. What do you mean, walk up the tree? Sakura asked in all her infinite wisdom. Like this, Naruto said, and started walking towards the tree. When he arrived near one, he simply placed his feet on his trunk and started walking up. Everyone in Team 7 minus Kakashi was shocked seeing Naruto walking vertically. Oh, Naruto, you already know this chakra exercise very well, Kakashi said, and Sasuke seized his teeth. Dobie, how did you do that? I demand you teach me, Sasuke said, and Naruto just ignored him. He already knew Sasuke all too well from the academy. Sasuke believed everyone should be grateful that he allowed them to breathe. Didn't you hear your sensei? Naruto asked rhetorically. You need to channel chakra to your feet and run up the tree. Exactly. Take these kunai to mark your progress. Nada, I assume you know how to do this, right? Kakashi asked, and Nada nodded. Hey, Nada-chan, watch me. I'll get this down in 1 hour, Kiba said, bragging her. Kiba, I already told you that I'm with Naruto-kun. If you opened your eyes, you would see that there are other girls that may like you, Nada said, and Kiba frowned. Maybe she was right. Team, get started. Naruto and I, you're coming with me to the bridge, Kakashi said, and they nodded and they started walking the bridge to protect Tazuna. Everyone knows Zabuza would try a sneak attack. At the bridge. Everyone at the bridge was peacefully working. It was a bright sunny day and the air itself was rather warm due to the ocean's breeze. Kakashi was reading his traditional orange book and giggling like a crazy person. Naruto's sweat dropped when he saw him pull out that book. Yeah, we know what book it is, right? Says the narrator. Hinata was simply laying on the bridge watching the ocean, and Naruto appeared to be working on something. Kakashi raised an eyebrow and decided to know what he was doing. Hey, Ototo, what are you doing? Kakashi asked, getting Naruto's attention. The blonde had both hand palms slightly apart from each other, and he appeared to be channeling Retitled chakra between them. I'm working on a jutsu I'm creating. If it works, it will pack quite a bang. Naruto said, grinning, and Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Naruto reminded him of himself when he was young. After all, he graduated Chunin when he was 13 years old and had already created his own jutsu. That's not easy, Kakashi said. You'll never know until I try it, Naruto replied. Naruto decided to take a break and help in the bridge building. Hey, Tasuna, Naruto yelled, getting the old man's attention. I'm tired of doing nothing. Can I help? Naruto asked. The more the merrier, Tasuna replied, but before he could continue, Naruto placed his finger in the cross sign and said, Kage Bunshi no Jutsu, and now came around 100 clones. Kakashi's eyes widened, seeing the number of clones the blonde could do. Naruto just shrugged it off as it was a normal scenario when they were training. Okay, Tasuna, tell them what to do, Naruto said, and Tasuna just nodded dumbly. Naruto, how can you make so many? Kakashi asked, still in shock. One side effect of being Jinchuriki is that you develop massive chakra reserves, Naruto said, and Kakashi glared at him, pointing to Hinata, whom was nearby. Don't worry, Sure knows everything about me, including my legacy, Naruto explained, and Kakashi sighed. The work on the bridge went extremely well with the help of Naruto's shadow clones. If you continue helping, the bridge should be done in about 2 weeks. Later that day, Tasuna's house. The group sat down to eat dinner as a young boy came in and shot a disgusted look at the group of ninja before declaring how they were all suited to face Gato and were just going to die, which Naruto said would not be the case. What do you know about pain? I bet you have all lived sheltered lives in that ninja village of yours. You don't know what suffering is, the young boy yelled after Naruto had denied what they were doing was futile. So what? Feelings are bad, but you know what? I have had it much worse. You still have a mother who loves you. You have a grandfather, a house that can be warm, and food every night. You don't know what it's like to be hated in your own village for something that is out of your control. You know what it's like to be beaten and kicked out of shops and forced to go for the garbage for food. You think your life is bad, fine, but don't just sit around and moan about it. Do something about it and fight back. Don't be a coward. Kakashi-sensei, I'm going to clear my head. And with that, Naruto stormed out the front door, and then Naruto got up and quickly followed him. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto's life couldn't have been that bad, right? He has to be lying to get attention, Sakura asked. No, Sakura, everything he said was true. Naruto was kicked out of the orphanage at age 4 and lived on the streets for months before I found him and took him to the Hokage. The Hokage gave Naruto an apartment, but he had to learn everything for himself and was constantly being beaten and kicked out of stores. And that is just a watered-down version of it, Kakashi said, shocking the group in the room. Even Hinata, she was expelled from her own clan when she was 8 years old because her father deemed her to be too weak and unworthy of being the heiress of the clan. But luckily, they found each other, Kakashi said, and everyone just started looking at them in a new light. They were brave kids that didn't back down. Again, just to go into like a quick note here, I can understand where people might have a bit of contention here because it seems kind of extreme for Naruto to be going through, that type of stuff. And I would agree with you, but it is a fanfic, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, but I do understand if you have an issue with that. Tasuna's roof house. Naruto stormed out of the house and made his way to the roof to gaze upon the dark sky. He needed to forget his previous argument with the spoiled kid. A few moments later, Naruto saw Hinata approaching, but said nothing. Hinata made his way towards Naruto and sat beside him, resting her head on his shoulder. Neither of them said anything and continued to look at the stars in a comfortable silence, until Nana decided to break the ice. You really shouldn't blame him. He's just naive, she said, trying to ease Naruto. It's just, we all suffered. Me being a Jinchuriki, you getting expelled from your family, and even Sasuke getting his whole clan killed by his own brother. Compared to us, he's had a good life, Naruto replied. It's true we suffered, but not everyone has the strength to move on and forget the pain. If it weren't for you, I would probably still be the same shy, weak girl I was. You were the one that gave me the strength. Look at Sasuke. His pain drove him to becoming obsessed by revenge, Nana said. You are unique, Naruto-kun, Hinata continued. People that get to know you pull strength from you. You are my beacon of hope. You just need to be it for this kid too, she said. I'll do my best, Hinata-chan, he replied with a small smile, pointing her closer. Now that I think about it, from our entire relationship, you've never taken me on a date, she said. Naruto was caught by surprise by this, but she had a point. In a relationship, it's usually the norm for couples to go on dates. I never really thought about it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. We could use the time we have here away from the hateful glares of Konoha. How about tomorrow I take you to dinner? Naruto replied with a smirk. I would love to, she said, giving a kiss on the cheek and dragging him inside as Naruto calmed down. Next day at 7 p.m. The next day after they set up their date, it went by normally. Everyone trained with Kakashi and Kurenai, however, both Naruto and Hinata trained away from them since they were more advanced. Today, the charge of watching Hinata on the bridge fell on Kurenai with Team 7, and to say they were bored was an understatement. Sasuke actually seemed ready to go on a killing spree just to pass the time. He wanted to train, but he got stuck with watching Tazuna, a few workers, and a crap ton of Naruto clones working on the bridge. Sasuke sieved his teeth when he arrived at the bridge and saw the clones Naruto created. That power should belong to him since he needed that to avenge his clan. It doesn't matter. Only Uchiha can defeat Uchiha, Sasuke thought. Only if he knew. Currently, we find Naruto and Naruto getting ready to go on their first date. They will ask for permission from to Kakashi and Kurenai since they're on a mission. Neither of them had proper clothes other than their shinobi attire. The only difference was they left their headbands at home so they can find that they were off service, if one could call it that. They walked through town deciding on where to eat. When they arrived at the center of the town, both of them were shocked. This town was poor. There was people asking for jobs, kids living on the outside, and even the resources the markets had to sell were scarce and of very poor quality. Gato had pretty much destroyed this small town. At least if their mission was successful and Tazuna managed to finish the bridge, they'd be able to recover from this. Not how they would have initially wanted to spend their first date, but, you know, they already love each other, and it wasn't like this date wasn't the worst thing in the world, you know? They were walking through the various shops and restaurants trying to pick a good place when they heard some yelling in the middle of the streets. Quick, old man, we already told you that you need to pay up, one of Gato's men said. There were two guys trying to collect payment from a shop owner who was on the ground looking terrified. But, I already paid this month, the shop owner replied. Boss said you need to send more merchandise for shipping, so you need to pay more taxes this month, he said. If you can't pay up, we'll take your wife as payment, he concluded and started physical assault on the man. Naruto and Hinata, seeing this, jumps into action. In a swift motion of punches and a few kicks, Gato's men were all run away bruised and bleeding, wondering how kids managed to do this to them. Kuchiyo's no jutsu, Summoning no jutsu, Naruto said, and in a puff of smoke appeared a small one-tailed black fox. His name was Kyofu, and he was a spy fox that was extremely skilled in stealth and information gathering. What you need, Naruto? Kyofu asked. I need to follow those two men and find out where Gato's base is and enter information you can, Naruto explained, and the fox dashed out of sight. Naruto turned to Hinata. Shall we continue? He asked, and he extended his right arm, which Hinata took and pulled him closer. Finally deciding where to eat, they entered and found a place that was welcoming and warm. It wasn't a fancy restaurant, but they didn't care for that. During their lunch, they tried to talk, but you know, they already knew everything about each other. It was a rather strange date as most went by in silence, so they simply ate in comfortable silence. When they left, Naruto decided it was still early, so he decided to drag Hinata to a local cinema and watch something. A couple hours later, they arrived at Tazuna's house. Their date didn't necessarily go that well, but they didn't really care. After all, the point of the date was to spend some time together since the mission started. It was always either guard Tazuna or train. 1 week later. 1 week had passed and the teens were preparing for the showdown at the bridge. It was a terrifying sight for any civilian to see a shinobi getting ready for a fight. The ground was filled with weaponry, kunai, shuriken, senbon, flash tag, explosive text, ninja wire, giant shuriken, and even Naruto's sword was out of his storage seal. He decided to carry it on his back since he could need it any time. Everyone ready? Kakashi asked, and everyone nodded. The fox Naruto had sent to gather information about Gato paid off. The fox found out that Zabuza would attack today since Haku was already healed from her shoulder wound, as was Zabuza from chakra exhaustion. Since Gato plans to betray Zabuza when the fight is over, he may as well send someone here. If he does send someone, they probably won't be shinobi, Kakashi said, and brought his hand to his chin and started pondering who to say back, keeping in mind that he would face Zabuza and Haku. How about we leave Sakura, Hinata, and Kiba here, since they have good taijutsu and they can easily take out any thugs Gato sends. The rest will go to the bridge. I can engage on Haku with Sasuke if necessary. Kakashi Sensei and Kurenai can take Zabuza, while Shino provides overall support and protects the client, Naruto suggested. Kakashi pondered. Shino will be in a tight spot if either Zabuza or Haku split past us and rush towards the target, Kakashi pointed out. Naruto considered this scenario. I can put up the same barrier as last time. Besides, Shino can control his bug from inside the barrier, right? Naruto asked and Shino nodded. It's good. Well, then everyone sticks to the plan. Tasuna, are you ready? Kakashi asked, and Tasuna weakly nodded. After all, Tasuna would be bait to draw them out. Everyone started moving out, and before they left, Naruto gave Hinata a brief kiss while whispering, "Good luck. If you need me here, use the rain," and Hinata nodded. On the bridge, Tasuna was approaching the bridge guarded by Kakashi, Kurenai, Naruto, Sasuke, and Shino. They entered the bridge, and there was already a mist in the air. Naruto discreetly activated Sharingan while placing the usual genjutsu on it. They made their way to the bridge, moving as silently as possible. Well, everyone minus Tasuna, who was swinging bullets and breathing hard just from fear itself. Naruto using his Sharingan could see glimpses of 2 chakra sources. They are already here, both Zabuza and Haku, just about 100 meters away, Naruto said, and everyone stood their guard. How do you know that? Kakashi asked. After all, Kakashi's sensing abilities weren't that good, and he was considering summoning one of his dogs. I'll tell you later. Can't tell with Sasuke here, Naruto whispered into his ear, and Kakashi nodded. Now it's in time for chit-chat. They continued walking until they stood a few meters from each other. Kakashi, we meet again. I'll enjoy the bounty on your head, Zabuza said in a dreary voice. So many places to choose from. I can slit your throat, stab you in your heart, destroy your lungs, burst your kidneys, or break your spine, Zabuza continued saying, while unleashing a lot of killer intent. Kakashi, Kurenai, and Naruto seemed immune to it, while Shino and Sasuke were sweating, and Tasuna was already on the ground as his legs gave out. Naruto saw Zabuza move from his spot, but he didn't have time to warn his team. He picked up his sword and jumped in front of Kurenai, blocking the Kubikiri Bocho. You are a very good kid to manage to find me, Zabuza said. Not many people manage to keep their head cool enough to think in these situations. Sometimes even Jonin would get caught. If it weren't for Naruto, Kurenai would already be dead. Say goodbye to your mist, Zabuza, Naruto said, going for a few hand signs and unleashing a gust of wind that blew the mist away, gaining a frown from Zabuza. I really hate wind users, Zabuza said, shouldering his sword and getting ready for the attack. As we planned, everyone take their positions. Why should the Dobby fight while me and Elite will just stand and watch, Sasuke said in his typical arrogant tone. Now is not the time, Genin, Kakashi said in a very serious tone, making Sasuke gulp. You will stay with Tasuna outside the barrier, only jump in if Naruto needs it. Understand? Kakashi asked, and Sasuke nodded. Get ready, Kakashi said. Tasuna tree with Shino, and then Naruto made 4 shadow clones that formed a square around him and said, Ninpo, Shishinjen, Ninja Art, 4 Flames formation, and erupted a purple barrier with Tasuna and Shino inside, and Sasuke on the outside. Kakashi and Kurenai got closer, preparing to fight Zabuza, and Naruto with his sword on hand, preparing to face Haku. Zabuza sent a few water clones that surrounded Kakashi, Kurenai, and Naruto. Naruto turned to Kakashi and he gave him a nod. Naruto disappeared in a burst of speed, and 1 second later, every single clone burst in the water. Looks like you found your rival in speed, wouldn't you say, Haku? Zabuza asked. It looks like that, Haku replied and dashed towards Naruto. Naruto seeing this gripped his sword tighter and started running towards Haku. They met roughly at halfway and started to exchange a few blows. Neither of them gained advantage. Naruto would easily block every single attack, however he didn't manage to land anything either. They found themselves in a standstill. Naruto was blocking Haku's kunai with his sword. Haku, seeing he had one hand occupied, started going through single-hand seals, and once finished said, Sensatsu Shisho, flying water needles to death, and immediately 1,000 water needles formed from the clone's water and started raining on Naruto. Naruto, seeing this, knew he hadn't had many options to avoid it and decided to test his new eyes and the power he learned to use. He shifted his eyes into the Mangekyou and said, Kamui! And then Naruto made his body intangible, and everyone watched in awe as well as fear as every single needle passed through Naruto's body, exiting to the opposite side. It's not possible, Haku said. You aren't a Bunshin. I can feel your chakra and your sword is pressing against my kunai, she explained. Well, that's one of my most powerful jutsus, Naruto said, smirking. He used this moment as a distraction and gave a powerful kick to Haku's chest that sent her flying and crashed into the ground near Zabuza. Zabuza was still wondering how the kid managed to do that and also beat Haku in speed. You're really good for it, Genin, Zabuza said. Kakashi laughed and said, smirking, Zabuza, what if I told you that Naruto here is actually the dead last? Zabuza's eyes widened. The brat couldn't possibly be the dead last. That or Konoha has been seriously trained, they're getting. Zabuza, before we begin our real fight, I have a proposition for you, Naruto said, and Zabuza raised an eyebrow. What do you want? Zabuza said, wondering what the kid meant. I heard that Gato plans to betray you once you get the job done. He wants to kill you and Haku once you kill Tasuna so he doesn't have to pay you. So how about we join forces and kill Gato, and in return you can come back with us to the Leaf, Naruto explained, and everyone raised an eyebrow. Naruto, you can't just offer some to a missing nin like that, Kakashi said. Kid, are you crazy? What makes you think I would join the Leaf? Zabuza asked. I bet you are tired of all the writing, having to keep looking for missions just to live, and I know the old man well enough. Both of you can be great assets to the village. Zabuza is one of the 7 swordsmen and Haku is ice release, Naruto said, and sadly Zabuza agreed. Both of them were tired of constantly running and they wanted a place to settle down. How do you know about my bloodline? Haku asked. She didn't reveal it the last time they faced each other. Did you really think we would just train while apart? Information is half the battle, so I sent a fox spy onto Gato's warehouse, and he found you training, Naruto explained, and they both scowled. A joint getting spied on without realizing it. Be that as it may, but I still have a reputation, and in my place, it's all I have. We'll fight, and if Gato appears to finish me off, then we join forces, and then I'll decide if we'll go to leave, Zabuza said, and Naruto nodded. If Naruto was lying, which Zabuza wouldn't know, Zabuza would be destroying his reputation by betraying his client. Immediately, Haku started going through hand seals and said, Maikyo Hyoshu, demonic ice mirrors. All around Naruto, ice mirrors started forming, trapping him in an ice dome. Haku walked to one of the mirrors and simply entered the mirror itself as she became nothing more than a reflection. Inside the ice dome. Inside the dome, Naruto could see that Kakashi and Kurenai were already engaged in Zabuza. Even for both of them, Zabuza was no pushover. Naruto needed to get over with this fight in order to go help them. Also, Sasuke was around, and he knew that if they need help, he would jump in. Uchiha pride and all. Funny, Naruto was an Uchiha, but even though he had pride in his blood, he was never arrogant about his power. Naruto focused on his battle and noticed that every mirror around him had Haku's reflection in it. He noticed that each Haku was holding 3 Senbon in each hand, getting ready to attack. Naruto's eyes widened when he realized that Haku was much faster now. If he didn't have the Sharingan to track her movements, he would need to resort to higher level attacks. Haku looked at Naruto surprised. You were the first person to ever dodge my attack when they were trapped in jutsu. Naruto simply smirked. Haku continued relentless attacks, switching from mirror to mirror while launching countless Senbon to Naruto. This went on for a few minutes, and Naruto was simply dodged all the Senbon without even needing his Kamui. How are you dodging my attacks? Haku yelled, finally losing her cool. You can't win. This jutsu spends a lot of chakra and you're already getting low, Naruto simply said. Shut up! Haku yelled and charged at Naruto as fast as she could, but Naruto's Sharingan could still follow her perfectly and saw her every single muscle movement in slow motion as she charged. Naruto took the opportunity and grabbed her by the hands, throwing into one of the mirrors. Somewhere near where Haku landed kunai with an explosive tag. The tag exploded and Haku braced herself for the impact, not getting too much damage, and then Naruto looked to see for the kunai and found Sasuke inside the dome. What are you doing here, Naruto asked. I figured a doby like you would need help, Sasuke said with his trademark arrogant smirk. Haku took this opportunity and threw a few Senbon to Sasuke. Naruto noticed the Senbon incoming towards Sasuke, and then Naruto didn't have enough time to reach him, so Sasuke got hit by a Senbon and fell limp onto the ground. Naruto's eyes widened and he ran towards him. Naruto looked at him and noticed that the Senbon hit his neck in a non-vital area, and using his Sharingan, he noticed that his chakra network was still active, so Sasuke was probably in a death-like state. Naruto decided to finish this battle and said, Katon Gyoko no Jutsu, or Great Fireball Technique, and launched a fireball into one of the mirrors, seeing if it would be enough. To his surprise, the fireball impacted the mirror, but it remained there as if nothing happened. You can't defeat my technique with such a low-level attack, Haku said. Then let's take this up a notch, Naruto said, and made a single Kage Bunshin, and both went for a few hand seals. Katon Guryuka no Jutsu, Great Dragon Fire Technique, Naruto said. And then Futon Daitopa, Great Breakthrough, Naruto's clone said. The combination of a B-rank Katon Jinjutsu powered up by the Wind Jutsu, and the result was a big fire dragon rocking towards the mirrors. Haku tried pumping more chakra to his technique, but it wasn't enough. The pressure of the dragon, coupled with the tremendous heat, made the ice dome explode, sending Haku crashing to the ground in pain with burns, and her mask cracked. Forgive me, Sawasa-sama. I cannot defeat this boy, Haku thought, coughing a bit of blood. Naruto approached Haku, still weary, as she still could attack. Naruto placed a few hand seals and said, Chakra Seal. Placing his hand on Haku, he blocked her chakra and tied her up with ninja wire. He went to see how the other battle was going on. Outside the ice dome a few minutes earlier, Kakashi and Kurenai were about to face Zabuza. Kakashi pulled up on his headband, revealing his Sharingan. Sharingan again, Zabuza mocked. Be proud of Zabuza. You were the first enemy to ever see it twice, Kakashi said, and started going for some hand seals. Gaton, Kurikoko no Jutsu, Great Fireball Technique, Kakashi said, and sent a fireball towards Zabuza. Zabuza didn't even budge, and he went through a few hand signs of his own and said, Suiton, Shujincheki, or Waterfall, and created a waterfall that blocked the fireball, creating a cloud of steam all around. Kakashi ran forward and engaged Zabuza in Taijutsu. Wrong move, as Zabuza was much stronger due to being used to using his big broadsword. Kakashi sent a low kick, making Zabuza jump up. Kakashi tried to capitalize on this with a punch, but Zabuza blocked it. Zabuza jumped back just in time to block a barrage of shuriken sent by Kurenai. Suiton, Tsuruyoda no Jutsu, or the Water Dragon Jutsu, and Zabuza sent a big water dragon towards Kurenai. She got caught in the ground and was sent crashing into the wall, disabling her momentarily. Kurenai! Kakashi yelled, and made his way towards her to check on her condition. When he arrived near her, she was regaining consciousness. They made up a battle plan that would end Zabuza when they heard an explosion coming from the ice dome. Naruto, they both fought. But what both them and Zabuza saw was a big stream of fire coming from the dome with Haku flying towards the ground, and Naruto simply walking on the ice dome, now practically all destroyed. The brat managed to defeat Haku. He is no ordinary Genin. He must be at least joined to defeat Haku without getting hurt, Zabuza said, watching Naruto tie up Haku and making his way towards this battle. Need help? Naruto asked, not even slightly winded. His master chakra reserves weren't even slightly spent. He was practically full. Sure, Kurenai got hit. Let her rest a bit, Kakashi said, and Naruto started sinking into the ground. How many jutsus does he know? He's a fresh Genin, and so far I've already seen big Katon and Futon jutsus, and now low-level Doton, Kakashi thought. Something was definitely up. Zabuza had his guard up. If one thing he knew for sure, it was to not underestimate the blonde kid. He managed to easily defeat Haku. Suddenly he felt a presence behind and turned, but he was too slow. Naruto emerged on the ground just behind Zabuza, and in his hand was a blue ball of chakra. Rasengan, Naruto said, slamming the blue condensed ball of chakra into Zabuza until he burst into water. Shit, water clone. Naruto fought and turned to see Zabuza with his sword, ready to chop him in half. This is the end, kid, Zabuza said, and brought his sword for a horizontal slash to chop Naruto in half. Naruto! Kakashi yelled. Naruto activated once again his calm way. He got to admit it's a kick-ass power that most likely confuses enemies to no end. Zabuza was watching as his sword was phasing for Naruto and leaving his body without a scratch. When the sword left him, Naruto gave Zabuza an uppercut and jumped back near Kakashi. Zabuza regained his balance. What the hell is that attack? Zabuza asked, getting pissed off. He never saw anything like that. That's for me to know and for you to find out, Naruto said smugly, making Zabuza even more pissed off. Suddenly a tree started growing behind Zabuza, and he was trapped with its branches. Magen, Chubaku Satsu, tree binding death, Kurenai said, making a tree grow and snaring Zabuza in place without chance to escape. You are too dangerous to be left alive. What I'm about to show is my own personal jutsu, Kakashi said, and started gathering a great amount of chakra in his right hand. The chakra changed to electricity until it started producing a loud sound. Kakashi dashed forward, intending to end Zabuza's life for good. Chidori, 1,000 birds. He was about to slam it against Zabuza when he heard, "Look at that, the demon defeated by a punk," some man said in the far side of the bridge. Kakashi stopped his assault, disabling Chidori, and said, "Gato," with distaste. "What are you doing here, Gato?" Zabuza asked, getting the impression the blonde kid was telling the truth. "I'm here to kill you. You're simply too expensive. When I can buy a few thugs that get the job done," Gato said, smirking, thinking he was untouchable. "Surrounded by 50 thugs, all equipped with weapons." "Release me. We're no longer enemies." "You were right, kid," Zabuza said, and Kurenai left her illusion down. Zabuza picked up his sword and was about to rush into Gato when Naruto placed his hand in front of him, making Zabuza confused. "I want to try out the jutsu I've been developing," Naruto said. "Hey, old man, how are you on supplies to finish the bridge?" Naruto asked. "I've got plenty. Why do you ask?" Tazuna said, getting confused. "Kakashi-sensei, Kurenai-sensei, Zabuza, you're about to watch my very first creation. Watch closely," Naruto said, and everyone wondered what he was going to do, even Sasuke, who just got up a few minutes ago. "You really think you can defeat us all?" one of the thugs said. Naruto simply smiled. Naruto brought his hands closer and slammed them against each other and started concentrating. He slightly separated his hands and started concentrating Raiton chakra between them. A few seconds later, the Raiton chakra started shrinking into a small, perfect light blue spear. Naruto sent the spear into the sky and expanded into a flash of light, immediately gathering clouds in the sky. Thunders could be heard as the sky started to get darker and heavy rain started to fall. As the thunder intensified, everyone watched and wondered how the kid managed to make it rain without much difficulty. "Is this how you're going to kill us? Rain," Gato said. Everyone thought that what he was doing failed, but Naruto simply smirked. Naruto concentrated Raiton chakra in his right hand and sent a small beam to the sky, and everyone watched as a massive lightning dragon gathered in the sky as if waiting for command from its master. "Watch closely," Naruto said, and brought his hand down, commanding the dragon to attack. "Raiton! Kirin!" Naruto said. The dragon left the sky and rocketed towards Gato and the thugs with such speed that everyone only saw a glimpse of light, for the bridge where Gato was exploded with tremendous force that everyone had to gather chakra to his feet just to make sure they don't get blown away. Everyone watched and nodded at the power of such a jutsu. When dust cleared, there was nothing left where the thunder landed. In a place where Gato and his thugs were, there was now just a big hole, and the bridge itself was blown to bits. "So much power," Kakashi said, as he watched everything with the Sharingan. That technique was easily an S rank. "Maybe I should go to the Leaf. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that," Zabuza thought. "That power should be mine. With that I could easily defeat my brother. Yes, that power will be mine," Sasuke thought as he watched in awe of the massive lightning strike. "What the hell are these shinobi? They can't be human," Tazuna thought in awe and a bit of fear. Awesome! My technique worked, Naruto explained happily, and everyone turned to him with some interesting expressions fixed on him.
Congrats, kid.
Kurama said. It's over. Gato is more than dead, Kakashi said, looking at Naruto, and laughed. So, Zabuza, have you thought about Naruto's proposal, Kakashi asked, and Zabuza started pondering. He was tired of this life, and if he went to sleep, perhaps he could witness that attack once again. That lightning dragon was beautiful. I'll go with you. I'm tired of this life. Besides, I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that, Zabuza said, as he pointed to the massive missing piece of bridge, and Naruto smirked. By the way, Naruto, congrats. That is one powerful jutsu, easily S rank. Kakashi said happily that he inherited his father's talents. And the best thing is that its chakra consumption is practically non-existent since the dragon is powered by the natural electricity of the sky, Naruto replied, and Kakashi nodded. Maybe you can teach it to me, Kakashi said. You need to have a very high light affinity, as you need to manipulate the very essence of electricity and also manage to gather it up in the sky. But if you have it, I would happily teach it to you, Nissan, Naruto said. Nissan? Zabuza asked. We aren't really brothers, but we're close enough, Naruto said. Dobi, I demand you teach me that jutsu, Sasuke said, walking up to Naruto. No, Naruto simply said. What do you mean, no? That power should belong to me and Uchiha Elite, Sasuke said. The reason I won't teach it to you is because you have the wrong goals. Revenge and lust for power, Naruto said, and walked off, leaving Sasuke angry. The council will hear about this, Sasuke thought. Okay, everyone, let's go home. Tazuna, you can work peacefully now that Gato is dead. We'll probably be a few more days since Naruto decided to blow up the bridge, Kakashi said, glaring at him. Naruto simply scratched the back of his head. A few days later, everyone was at Tazuna's place packing up to leave. The bridge was complete, and the wave was starting to be recovered from Gato's tyranny. Haku became good friends with Naruto and Nana since they shared a common background. They were both hated and chased away from what they contained, either it be a demon or a bloodline. Haku recovered very well since Naruto summoned a healing fox to help her treatment. Zabuza gave Naruto a few pointers and tips on his sword style. Zabuza was surprised when he found out that Naruto was Uzumaki masters in the art of the sword. Kakashi was almost floored when he found out about Naruto. Flashback. Everyone had arrived at Tazuna's house coming from their battle. They found it was a good idea to leave some backup in the house as two thugs attacked and tried to kidnap Tsunami and Inari. Kakashi called Naruto over and they both went outside of the house into the woods. So, care to explain how you could see Zabuza and Haku in the mist, Kakashi said. I know I can trust Kakashi-sensei. My father never told you this. Actually, I believe he never told anyone other than my mother. Naruto said and activated his Sharingan. Kakashi's eyes widened when he saw a free Tomoe Sharingan fire up in Naruto's eyes. How can you have the Sharingan? Neither of you or your mother were Uchihas, Kakashi said. Actually, my father was an Uchiha. He just never told anyone. Did you ever wonder how could he be so fast? It's true he used Urashi, but a normal person without any bloodline wouldn't be able to react in time at those speeds, Naruto explained, and Kakashi asked himself why he never thought of that. So how many people know that you are an Uchiha, Kakashi asked. So far, the old man, Hinata, Shino, Kurenai-sensei, and you. And I'm happy I never told anyone since I awakened when I was 5, otherwise I would probably have joined the Uchiha clan in the grave, Naruto said, saying shivers down to Kakashi's spine. Oh, another thing, Naruto started. I kind of copy your Chidori since right time is my main affinity. Do you mind if I use it? Naruto asked, rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. I have no problem with that. Besides, Chidori was created to be used in conjunction with the Sharingan, so it serves you well, Kakashi said. I wonder why Sensei never told me, Kakashi wondered out loud. It's probably because of who was his father, Naruto said, and Kakashi raised an eyebrow. My grandfather is Uchiha Madara, Naruto said, and Kakashi froze hearing that name. How is it possible, Kakashi asked. Madara didn't die in his battle with Hashirama, and a few years later my father was born, Naruto said. Jeez, with blood like that and how he is, Naruto will be an extremely powerful ninja later on in life, Kakashi thought. You know the council will be on your ass when they find out, right? Kakashi asked. Don't worry, I already studied politics and laws. I knew someday I would need them, Naruto said, laughing. This is the reason I asked the old man not to be on your team. I knew Sasuke would be with you so you could train Sharingan when he awakened it, and I would someday have to use it. I didn't want to always be covering up with a Genjutsu, Naruto explained, and Kakashi nodded. I'm just picturing council's faces when they find out, Kakashi said, laughing. Let's go home and rest. You need to work on the bridge tomorrow since you blew it up, Kakashi said, and Naruto sighed. End of the flashback. Everyone from the town was gathered up on the bridge saying their goodbyes to their heroes. The brave shinobi that killed Gatsu and freed the land of waves. Don't cry, Nari. I'll come visit, and Naruto said, and Nari simply nodded. Take care, old man, Naruto said to Tazuna. Goodbye, and don't forget to visit, Tazuna said, and everyone nodded and left towards the leave. What should we name the bridge? One of the townspeople asked. How about the Super Great Tazuna Bridge, Tazuna said, and Tsunami bonked him on the head. How about the Great Naruto Bridge, since he was the one that killed Gato and convinced Nari to fight for what he wants? Tsunami replied, and everyone agreed. The Great Naruto Bridge it is, Tazuna said, watching everyone leave. Hokage's office one day later. Everyone was in the Hokage's office giving the report of the mission. Since their group was the only shinobi, they managed to get back to leave much faster, even having sought a few times so Sakura could rest. Naruto has the same talent as his father. The Hokage fought reading about his lightning attack. He then turned to the missing nin in the room and started massaging his temples. You give me nothing but paperwork, Naruto-kun, the old man said. How about this? You let Zabuza and Haku join the leaf, and I'll tell you how to defeat paperwork, Naruto said. And in a flash, Hokage threw 2 headbands to Zabuza and Haku and started shaking Naruto's shoulder, begging him to tell. Everyone watching his sweat dropped. 2 words, Naruto said, and Hokage focused on him. Kage Bunshin, he said. The Hokage walked calmly to his chair, and he opened one drawer and took a paper that said, smash here. He put the paper on the table and started slamming his head, saying, stupid, stupid. And I'll allow it. Zabuza, since you are a missing nin, you will have a 6-month probation period, the Hokage said, and he nodded. Hokage, since you don't have any village affiliation, you can join a gang team next graduation. How about it, he asked. Actually, Hokage-sama, I would like to become a combat medic. I have good knowledge of poisons and medicinal plants, she said, and the Hokage pondered. Very well, you can start in the hospital. I'll have someone teach you the basics, but you still need to be on a gang team and advance to at least Chunin level until you can dedicate full time, the Hokage explained, and she nodded. Everyone dismissed, the Hokage said, and created free shotguns to do paperwork. Naruto-kun, how about I take you to get some ramen, the Hokage said, and Naruto started jumping up in the air, shouting, Ramen! Ramen! This village is crazy, Zabuza said, and Haku nodded. And that is the end of chapter 11. A very, very long chapter. And now let's move on to chapter 12, which is, by the way, called Mission to the Land of Waterfall. So let's get into this. Chapter 12, Mission to the Land of the Waterfall. The next week, after everyone returned from their wave mission, it went without much trouble. The Hokage gave them the occasional week off so they could train and rest and do the occasional D-rank mission. During this week, Naruto and I trained with Zabuza in their Kenjutsu and Hinata in Suiton Ninjutsu. Apart from training with Zabuza, they also did their normal training with Kunai Sensei, but there wasn't much she could teach them. Also, Haku started in the hospital learning the basics of medical ninjutsu. She was really skilled in it. Naruto also trained Hinata since she started showing a light affinity. With this training, she started developing a new Taichi style that was rather deadly. One small touch and everything was over. This new style could be considered an improvement over her flowing fist. Currently, it was around 4 p.m. and both Naruto and I were resting on the couch. And by the way, I'm not going to kind of, describe this at all because I want to skip this because I don't feel necessarily, the most comfortable describing or reading out a makeout session between teenagers, so I'm just gonna skip that here, but just know that they were locked in a makeout session until suddenly there was a knock on the door and Naruto pouted that it ruined their alone time. I swear, I'm about to kill whoever knocked, Naruto muttered as he got up and went to the door. Come on, Naruto-kun, be nice, Naruto said. We can always continue after, she said, winking at him. Naruto turned back to look at her with a devious smile that gave her chills. Naruto opened the door and saw an Anbu masked shinobi standing there. Yes, Naruto asked. The Hokage demands her presence in the council room, the Anbu said, and grabbed his arm, getting ready to take him away. Naruto moved his arm from his grip. We'll be there momentarily, Naruto said in a cold tone, glaring at him with his cold blue eyes. The Anbu nodded, and then Naruto closed the door and turned back to Hinata, who was waiting for him. Sorry, Hime, but the council wants me. Want to come? It's fun, he said, smirking. Sure, let me grab a coat, she replied. She got up and grabbed a coat, and both walked outside the house. When outside, they both shunshin to the Hokage's tower. Hokage Tower Council Room. Naruto and I arrived at Hokage Tower and made our way towards the council room. When they arrived there was an Anbu station outside of the room guarding it. The Anbu opened the door and they both walked in. The civilian council immediately started glaring at him and he simply discarded it. Hiyashi was glaring daggers at Hinata and wondering what she was doing here. What are you doing here, Hiyashi asked. Can't I be here for my boyfriend? She replied, kissing him on the cheek, and getting a distasteful look from Hiyashi and the civilians. Disgusting. How can you associate with a deep... And Hiyashi didn't finish as a kunai launched from Naruto lodged itself in a wall near his head, cutting through hairs and making the man freeze. Careful, Hiyashi-sama. I wouldn't want you to break the Hokage-sama's law, Naruto said, smirking. The Hyugas were known for always remaining cool no matter how stressful the situation. Everyone's eyes widened, and they realized that if he wanted to, he could have killed him right then and there. No one even saw him pulling out a kunai. You dare attack me. I can kill your precious girlfriend here only lifting 2 fingers, Hiyashi said in a calm tone. You could try it, but you would hit the floor dead before your fingers were even an entire seal, Naruto calmly said. Is that a threat? Hiyashi asked, narrowing his eyes. No, just a warning. If you do anything to harm her, well, in this case, you would call it the Hyuga massacre. Except I would only kill the main house, since they're all arrogant, Naruto said. Everyone gasped, and Yashi simply scowled. He would have his revenge, but not now, trying to defuse the situation before he embarrassed himself even more. How can you have weapons in here? The Anbu outside should have made sure no weapons were allowed in here, Yashi said. The Hokage only watched the interaction with fascination. Here was a 14-year-old boy pissing off the council. It was very amusing, to say the least, as he just watched. See these little things? Naruto said and showed his wristbands. In these wristbands, I have a few storage seals for kunai, shuriken, and senbon. It's a lot easier than wearing a pouch. Besides, it's not my fault the Anbu didn't check them, Naruto explained. Besides, I don't understand why you prevent weapons in here, but you let in shinobi without restricting their chakra. Chakra is shinobi's ultimate weapon. Without it, we're nothing more than civilians, Naruto said, and everyone pondered. He has a point, Shikaku asked rhetorically, and a few nodded. That's not what we called you here for, one civilian said. Before we start, may I ask what is Sasuke doing here? Naruto asked, and everyone stared at him, wondering how he managed to sense his chakra. Sasuke stepped out from the shadows, smirking. How did you know I was here, Dobi? Sasuke asked. Everyone seems to keep forgetting that I'm a censor, Naruto said, sighing. Hey, old man, so Naruto didn't get to finish. Show some respect to Hokage, Brad, Hiyashi said. Fine, Hokage-sama. I was wondering the reason you called me, Naruto said. That I would like to know as well, the Hokage replied, looking at the civilian council who were a bit nervous. We are here so that Naruto can teach Uchiha-sama that lighting jutsu you used in your last mission, one civilian said, and Naruto narrowed his eyes. Sorry, not teaching it. It's an S-rank jutsu of my own creation, so it belongs to me, and I alone can choose who I teach it to, Naruto said, and the civilian side erupted in protest. Naruto simply waited for them to calm down. You should be proud of teaching the Uchiha-sama, the pink banshee yelled. Her name was Sakura, and she was Sakura's mother. I don't understand you. A couple weeks ago, you bitched about me becoming a shinobi, and one of you hired two Jonis to assassinate me, and now you want me to teach him? Naruto said, and Shinobi's side froze when they heard that they tried to assassinate him. Could you clarify your assassination attempt, Naruto-san? Shibi said. Aburame Shibi was Shino's father and the current head of the Aburame clan. The night after the gang graduation, one member of the civilian side named Tuno Konta hired two Jonin to kill us. They managed to break into my house during the night and try to stab us. However, I sensed them and we killed one of them while restraining the other and delivering him to the Hokage, Naruto explained. We? Shibi asked. Now it's living with me, Naruto explained, and Yashi thought that her daughter couldn't sink any lower. After that, the one who hired them was executed for an attack on Elite Shinobi, Naruto explained. Oh, and just to warn you, if you try again, I already protected my house with a few security seals, so if anyone tries to break into it, they will have a nasty surprise, Naruto said, smirking evilly and giving the civilian shivers. We are getting off topic. We demand you teach the jutsu to Uchiha-sama, Sakura said, getting to the point of the meeting. I already said that I won't. It's my creation. For example, Naruto said and turned to Hiyashi, the Kaiten technique doesn't require any type of bloodline, so anyone could learn it. Why teach it to the general shinobi? Naruto asked. That technique is a secret of the Hyuga clan, but I wonder how you know about it, Hiyashi said, narrowing his eyes. Hime, Naruto said, and now I went to the middle of the room and started spinning with a low-power Kaiten so she didn't destroy anything. How dare you use technique of the main branch of the Hyugas? Hiyashi yelled, getting up and finally loosened his temper and raised his two fingers to activate Hinata's cursed seal. Naruto, seeing this, dashed forward with blind speeds and slammed both hands to Hiyashi's chest, saying chakra seal, applying a chakra restricting seal with his left hand and saying process seal, applying a seal that stops all motion from Hiyashi, freezing him in place with his right hand. Slowly, the Anbu appeared in the room with swords drawn and pointing to Naruto's neck. Everyone's eyes were bulging out at the events that transpired just a few seconds ago. The Hokage was simply enjoying his life. Naruto's speed was phenomenal as he worked with seals. Only a skilled seal master could apply seals with his hands. Naruto activated his Kanwin with his Sharingan hidden and simply walked through the Anbu and their swords towards Hinata. The Anbus just watched him literally walk through them like he was a ghost. I told you Kent's memes are fun, Naruto said, and Hinata giggled while everyone was just staring at the pair. Naruto-kun, remove the seals from Hiyashi, the Hokage said, and Naruto complied and removed the seals from him. And Hiyashi, refrain yourself from disturbing actions, the Hokage concluded. Hiyashi continued glaring at the pair, releasing a little bit of ki that didn't even affect them. Now, I won't teach it to Sasuke for 3 reasons, Naruto started. First, he doesn't deserve it. He's an arrogant kid who thinks everyone should kneel before him. Second, you need to have very high light affinity to be able to use it. Your affinity must be the same level as the Nandame's water affinity, but in this case for lightning. Third, I'm a shinobi, so you have no authority over me, Naruto concluded. Sasuke seemed to see deceive as Naruto was explaining. You don't deserve that power, and you and everyone else should kneel before the Uchihas, Sasuke said, and rushed Naruto with a kunai. Naruto sidestepped him and placed him in a chokehold, and after a few seconds he dropped him onto the floor unconscious. You killed him, Anbu. Kill the demon, Sakura yelled, and then Naruto simply sighed. He's just unconscious. As much as I hate him, I wouldn't kill him just because of his temper, Naruto explained. And your worship of the Uchiha will be your downfall one day. Care to explain how he managed to pull a kunai from his pouch? Naruto asked. Nobody answered. The Shinobi Council didn't like the Uchiha kid that much. He was an arrogant fool, but the civilians pampered to his every demand. Naruto-san, we agree that jutsu is yours and only you should choose who to teach it to, Shibi said. Thank you, Abraham-san. Naruto said, glad this was over. However, he hoped that he could still have a bit of fun with anyone else. However, could you explain the requirements and disadvantages of jutsu for classification, Shibi said. That jutsu could very well be a kinjutsu. Not a problem. For starters, to use his attack, you need a very high light affinity because you need to be able to draw the energy from the Earth's electromagnetic field. Once you manage to gather enough from it in the same place, clouds will form and create thunder. Once this is done, I can manipulate the thunder and redirect it to the enemy. Due to using nature's energy instead of chakra, the attack is extremely more powerful. The only drawback is that after using it, you can only use it in the same place for after a few minutes, so that the energy from this field can stabilize, Naruto explained. Everyone thought about the possibilities of Jutsu. It could easily topple a building or destroy a small army. You are skilled, Naruto-san. My son was right about you, Shibi said, and Naruto nodded. Can we leave now, Naruto asked, and then seeing Hokage nodding and started walking out of the room until they heard one civilian whispering demon, but everyone heard it. For Kami's sake, how the hell can I prove that I'm not the Kyuubi? Naruto asked, but everyone remained silent. Naruto decided to scare the crap out of them and said, oh, I know a way, and everyone perked up. Hey Kyuubi, wake up, Naruto said to Kurama, but out loud so everyone could hear him. Everyone wondered what he was doing, but civilians were all swaying bullets.
What do you want, kids?
Kurama asked. How about we play with them for a bit? Just don't kill anyone, Naruto thought, and Kurama smirked. Kage Bunshi no Jutsu, Naruto said, and he made a single clone. In the clone, Kurama took control. His eyes became blood red with vertical slits, his whiskers marks became more pronounced, and his teeth became fangs.
Well, hello,
the Kyuubi said in a very dark voice, scaring the crap out of everyone in the civilian side. The Hokage already knew about him helping Naruto, but the Shinobi side was a bit weary. Kyuubi, Sakura asked?
Lord Kyuubi, you pathetic mortal,
the Kyuubi said, and Sakura shrunk into her chair, just staring at the new transformed Naruto. You hungry? Naruto asked.
I could eat,
Kyuubi replied. You can start at the pink banshee, Naruto said, and Sakura started shaking and fainted. Naruto seeing his sweat drop. She fainted. Pick another, he said.
Oh, just forget it. I'll eat them all,
the Kyuubi said, and using a discreet hand transformed into a medium-sized fox with 9 tails and orange fur. He calmly walked towards the civilian side. The rest simply watched as one by one on the civilian side fainted and remained there on the ground drooling.
That was fun,
the Kyuubi said, making Naruto and I laugh while everyone's sweat just dropped. We are leaving now. See you tomorrow, Gigi, Naruto said, and walked out the room. I like his style, Sumi said. She was the head of the Inuzuka clan and Kiba's mother. What's that smell? She asked. I think I know. Sigh. Who the hell is carrying them home? The Hokage asked, and in a flash, the whole Shinobi side vanished. Did Minato teach them the Harashin? The Hokage wondered and thought. With our favorite couple. I told you. Council meetings are fun, Naruto said, chuckling. How are you feeling? You didn't see your father since he expelled you. I'm fine. He no longer means anything to me. He was never really a father. I think I never got to love him, she sadly said. Besides, I have you now, and that's all I need, she said, kissing my cheek and wrapping herself around his arm, resting her head on his shoulder. Shall I continue what we were doing? Naruto asked, remembering what they were doing before they left. Are you sure? And I whispered in a teasing voice. Naruto picked her up, Browsa, and Shunshin home. A few days later, teammate was en route to the Hokage Tower to get a new mission. The week off was over now, and they were ready for real missions. No more of those jury D-rank missions. During the remainder of the week, Naruto learned a few languages from Kakashi. Flashback. Naruto was walking towards the Teen Sim training ground since he set a training session with Kakashi. Naruto waited a few minutes, but then he remembered Kakashi's nasty habit of arriving late to any appointment. Naruto took in his senses and found Kakashi a few hundred meters away. He walked towards him and found him staring at the memorial stone. Naruto approached him, but Kakashi didn't even notice him since he was deep in thought. So, Naruto said, starting Kakashi. This is where you spend your time, Naruto continued in a low tone, seeing the names of his parents on the stone. The memorial stone is a monument in Konoha where all the names of the Shinobi killed in action are written down on the stone, a reminder of their sacrifice to protect their home. Neither of them said anything for a few minutes until Naruto spoke. We shouldn't dwell in the past. I know, but I can't forget my past actions. If I wasn't so arrogant back then, he would still be alive, Kakashi said. I'm the last of my gang team. My best friend Obito died to save me. Ren sacrificed herself, forced me to kill her, and Sensei died defeating the QB. In his dying moments, I promised Obito I would take care of Ren, and I failed, Kakashi said, almost breaking. You can't protect everyone, even I know that. The only thing we can do is try our hardest. Like you, I would do anything to protect those I care about, but we can't be there for everyone, Naruto said. I just feel like it's my fault, Kakashi said. You tried your best. No one could ask for more. It's time to let go, Naruto said, placing his hand on his shoulder and slowly turned away to leave. It would be best to leave and be after their talk. Maybe he's right. I've dwelled in the past long enough. Kakashi thought, looking one final time to stone. I promise, Sensei. I'll do my best to protect and guide your son, he thought, smiling, turning away from it and going towards Naruto. Wait, Naruto, I believe you had a training session, Kakashi yelled, making Naruto stop and turn towards him. Maybe my talk did some good, Naruto thought. Let's get this started. I'll be teaching you a few light jutsu. That I've got plenty, actually, Kakashi said, lifting his headband and showing his Sharingan. Kakashi Sensei, I wonder why you can't disable your Sharingan, Naruto said. It's because I'm not an Uchiha and I can't cancel chakra flowing to the eye, Kakashi replied. Maybe your eye is forcibly consuming chakra to remain activated, Naruto pondered for a few seconds and said. Maybe it can imply a seal in your eye that allows you to cut the chakra feed completely, allowing you to see normally, but still be able to reactivate the Sharingan. Really? Kakashi asked incredulously. If he could do it, it would be good. He hasn't seen anything with his left eye in years outside of battles. Besides, it would remove his blind spot when not using Sharingan. I'm pretty good with seals. I'll see what I can do. Let's get started, Naruto said and activated Sharingan. First, I'll show this. Right done, lightning chain, Kakashi said, making a Kage Bunshin. Kakashi slammed his right hand with the clone's left hand, and when they were separating, it created a thin line of right done chakra. Both Kakashi and his clone ran towards a tree, slicing it cleanly. Wow, that's an A-rank jutsu, Naruto said giddy, and Kakashi eye smiled. His sensei was always up to learn new jutsu. The next is the final version of my Chidori. It's called Rakiri, or lightning cutter. Instead of gathering lightning chakra in the palm of your hand, you envelop your hand in it. By doing so, you increase the piercing power of your hand, making it impossible to pierce or slice anything. That's why it's called Rakiri, because I use it to cut through lightning. This technique requires more chakra control over your element, and it's an S-rank technique, Kakashi explained. And in the flashback. Mission assignment room. They arrived at the mission room and saw the traditional setup. The Kage in the center of the table with Furuka to his left, and also in the room near the edge of the table was a girl. She was around Naruto's age, she wore a clip in her green hair and a color that matched her orange eyes. Her ninja outfit consisted of short, sleeveless white shirt with fishnet armor underneath, long white armlets, and fishnet shorts with a short white apron skirt over it. Her forehead protector was worn on her right arm. Naruto stared at her, gaining a weird vibe from her, and Hokage simply watched Naruto analyzing the young girl. Naruto, it's rude to stare at her, nice gal at the blonde. Shino remained stoic like always.
Kids, I'm getting a reading on demon chakra from her. She's an interrogator of the Nabi.
Kurama said, and Naruto nodded. Nice to meet you, Seven. I'm Uzumaki Naruto, Naruto said, and everyone wondered what he meant by calling her Seven. Nice to meet you, Nine. I'm Fu, she replied, and both teammate and Ruka stared at the young girl when she called Naruto Nine. So now Naruto called her Seven, that can only mean she was also in Turkey, would figure. So, old man, I guess the mission involves Fu, Naruto S, and Hokage chuckled. The mission I have for you is a B rank because of its importance rather than danger, the Hokage started. Mission is to go to the hidden Waterfall village and negotiate trade agreements. Fu here will accompany you to the village since it's hard to find, Hokage concluded. The Hokage picked up the scroll and threw it to Kurenai and said, and there are the mission details. Naruto narrowed his eyes and asked, you set this up, didn't you? I thought you would like to meet another Cherokee like you, the old man replied. I appreciate it, Naruto said and turned to Fu. So let's head out. I want to see your village, Naruto said. Before we part ways, prepare for a 1-week mission. Gather at the West Gate in 1 hour, Kurenai said, and everyone left the room. West Gate 1 hour later. About 1 hour later, everyone stood ready at the gate. After signing their release forms, they left the village, traveling at Shinobi's pace towards Fu's village. Their travel was uneventful. They were attacked by a few low-level thugs, nothing that they couldn't handle. So Fu, what's it like at your village, Naruto asked, and Fu got a bit hesitant. The only thing I can say is that it's beautiful, Fu replied. The thing is I love most is that it has the most beautiful sunset, she explained, and Naruto nodded. Another thing is that my village's atmosphere tends to be a bit moist from the waterfall, so it's perfect for finding new bugs, she concluded. Bugs? Shinobi asked, raising an eyebrow. Oh, that's right, you're from the Aburame clan. That specializes in bugs, right? She asked, and Shino nodded. One side effect of me being a Jinchuriki than Nabi is that I can communicate with bugs and use them as a weapon, she explained. By the way, how is Nanabi? Naruto asked. If you want, we can open a channel, and Fu asked, and Naruto nodded. Kurama opened the channel, and they were dragged to what appears to be a very dark room, and in the center there was light. A few seconds later, two figures appeared in the room. The first one appeared to be a giant bug with horns and wings, and on top of his head was Fu. The other was a big fox with 9 tails and orange fur, and on top of his head was Naruto.
Chome, no long time no see.
Kurama said. It's been a while, Kurama, Chome replied. You know, I never thought of seeing you friendly for your container, Chome said, smirking.
Laugh if you want, but I got the pearl warrior being sealed for 100 years, and I need something to entertain myself. Besides, the kid is not half bad.
Kurama replied. You damn right I'm not bad, Naruto replied, and the Kyuubi used his tail and knocked him down from his head, sending him to crash into the ground.
You are still a brat,
Kurama said, and Fu laughed. Naruto simply stuck his tongue out to Kurama. Damn furball, he muttered.
It was good seeing you. Until next time,
Kurama said, and both of them exited their mindscapes. What happened, Naruto? Both of you spaced out, Kurenai asked. We're talking amongst ourselves with the Kyuubi and Nanabi. They haven't seen each other in a few years, Naruto said, and seeing the confused look of Kurenai, Fu decided to elaborate. Jinchurikis can create a mental link with other Jinchurikis and talk for our minds, Fu explained. Everyone nodded. A few hours later, near the Waterfall village. Teammate and Fu were arriving at the village's entrance when Naruto's instinct kicked in, making him slightly jump out in surprise. What's wrong, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked concerned. There wasn't much talk after what Naruto said. Naruto-kun, is it? Is she your girlfriend? Fu teased, wanting juicy details. She is, but I sense free chocolate signatures coming towards us at high speed, all joint level, Naruto said, and everyone got in position. Fu, what's your rank? Naruto asked. I'm game level alone, but if I use the Nabi's chakra, I'm around Chunin level, but I can't control it past 2 tails, she explained, and Naruto nodded. They may not be enemies, however, let's take precaution, Naruto said, and Kurenai took charge. Since they are free joining, we will need to split up. Naruto, can you take one by yourself? Kurenai asked, and Naruto nodded. I have a few tricks up my sleeve, and if need be, I can use the Kyuubi's chakra, Naruto replied. Then Naruto, you take one, Hinata the other, and me and Fu will take the last, Kurenai ordered. Moments later, three figures rushed out of the woods and jumped in front of teammate and Fu. The one figure that seemed to be the leader wore a full-body sleeveless suit that was mostly black, with the sides being light purple. He had green hair and purple eyes. The other two wore the same outfit that consisted of a full-body black suit and on top a light purple mid-sleeve shirt with a black belt on their waists. The faces were completely covered by a black mask, revealing only the eyes. However, what all three of them had in common was that Tate had the design of a musical note. Who are you, and what do you want? Kurenai asked, keeping her guard up. My name is Rokushu Aoi, and we are here to take her, she said, pointing to Fu. As he said that, everyone took a defensive formation around her. Rokushu Aoi, are you a Nukanin from the Leaf Village? Kurenai said. What do you want from me? And I don't recognize your Hatate symbol, Fu asked. We are from the Hidden Sound Village, and we want you because you are the guardian of the Eio no Misu, or Hero Water, Aoi said, getting ready to take her by force if need be. Hero Water? Naruto asked. Fu was a bit reluctant, but decided to tell them since they would most likely help her. Hero Water is a special water that only exists in our village and is considered a forbidden drink. The water gives the user, when consumed, an enormous boost in chakra. The water multiplies by tenfold the user's chakra output. However, it shortens their lifespan. Our ancestors used it to defend our village when needed. And the reason they want me is because I'm the guardian of the fountain, Fu explained, and teammates' eyes widened. Multiplying chakra output by tenfold is some power, but no power comes without a cost. Well, you aren't getting food, Naruto said, and took a step forward. A brave little Genin are you, smirked Aoi, and withdrew his sword. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw the sword. That's the Raijin no Ken, sword of the Thunder God, Naruto said, and Kurenai wondered how could the Nidaime's sword end up in his possession. Enough of this. If you don't surrender the girl, we will take her by force, Aoi said. We are not letting her go, so that means we fight. Kurenai sensei, I'll take Aoi because of the sword. My finish should do well against him, Naruto said. He channeled chakra to his sword seal and in puff of smoke stood in his right is Chokoto. He channeled his right tongue chakra through it and began to sparkle with a light blue aura around it. Naruto versus Aoi. The group split apart until it remained only Aoi and Naruto. They both eyed each other before anyone made any moves. You have a lot of nerve to face me in battle. With this sword I'm invincible, Aoi said, smirking. Naruto shook his head and said, You are too overconfident. No shinobi is invincible. There will always be some weaknesses or mistake that we will make. Aoi dashed forward, intending to kill the annoying blonde. He brought his sword down with a vertical slash, trying to kill him in one swift motion. However, Naruto blocked the Raijin with his own sword and both fought for dominance, leading to a standstill. How can that be? How can you block this sword like that? Aoi asked, getting annoyed. His sword was supposed to be the most powerful sword in existence. Like I said, no one is undefeatable, and that sword isn't all powerful. My sword is made of chakra, and I have a very high affinity towards light, making my sword almost on par with yours, Naruto explained, smirking and pissing Aoi off. Senbone shower, Aoi said, and picked up his umbrella and threw it in the air. The umbrella started spinning and launched massive amounts of senbones towards Naruto. Naruto saw no way to dodge them all and went through a few hand seals saying, Doton, Doriyuki, or Earthfall, and earth rose from the ground, blocking the senbone. You are not bad for getting, Aoi said. Getting only a name, Naruto said, smiling and going for more hand seals. Goton, Gaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique, Naruto said, and sent a fireball towards Aoi. He simply brought his sword up and in a downward slash, he cut for the fireball, making it disappear. Aoi dashed towards Naruto, but this time he channeled chakra to his sword and tried to shock Naruto. The sword sent a shockwave towards Naruto, who stood his ground, not moving an inch. Aoi laughed, thinking he got Naruto, but quickly quieted down when he saw Naruto getting shocked, was staying there as if nothing happened. How can you stand there? Aoi asked. I told you, I have a very high lightning affinity. By coating my external body with chakra, any lightning attack I receive is ineffective. Basically, anything shorter than S-rank jutsu or other extremely well-concentrated attacks, I am immune to, well, lightning attacks. That's the reason why I decided to fight you, Naruto explained, and Aoi seized his teeth. It doesn't matter, I'm going to kill you anyway, Aoi said, and once again tried to slash Naruto, but he blocked again and jumped back. Let's see what you can do without your precious sword, Naruto said, and to activate his EMS. It would be the first time using the long-range version of this technique. Kamui, Naruto said, and focused on his sword. Moments later appeared what seemed to be a small rift, sucking the sword into it and closing. Aoi only watched the sword got literally sucked out of his hands. Bastard, where did you send the sword to? Aoi asked, getting seriously pissed by him. I took the sword and intend to take it back to Konoha to where it belongs, Naruto explained. It's time to end this. I need to go see how the rest of my team is doing. Naruto dashed forward, and as he expected, Aoi couldn't do much without his sword. They followed the path that most Kage users do. They focused merely on that and think that they are invincible. Naruto brought his sword to a vertical slash, making Aoi block with a kunai and jumped to the right. Kage Shuriken no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone, Naruto said, and sent 5 shurikens that multiplied to 100. Aoi brought his umbrella up and blocked them all. Aoi ran towards him, and before Naruto could realize, he was stabbed in the back with a kunai. Aoi smirked until Naruto, quote-unquote, dispelled in a blue light, sending a rush of Kuraiton chakra through Aoi, shocking him. Aoi was left lightly twitching as he looked for Naruto. Aoi barely dodged Naruto's hand as it rose from the ground and tried to catch him. Suiton, Depodama, water bullet, Aoi said, and he sent a few bullets towards Naruto, who got hit with 3 of them, 2 in the chest at one leg, leaving him on the ground clutching in pain. Aoi approached Naruto, getting ready to finish him with a kunai. He brought it down and slashed his neck. Aoi smirked until Naruto puffed away in smoke, and suddenly he froze, unable to move. He only saw Naruto appearing behind his back and slamming his hand in his back. How? Aoi barely managed to ask. You let your guard down. When you hit me with the water bullets, you thought you had me. However, when you sent them, I switched with a clone and hid underground. When you approached to kill my clone, I popped up and placed a paralysis seal on you, Naruto said, and we just cursed his luck by being defeated by a mere 14-year-old. Now that you can't move, you will answer a few questions before I take you back to leave, Naruto said, and walked a few inches towards Aoi before standing a few inches before him. What do you want the water for? Naruto asked in an emotionless tone, gazing at Aoi with his cold blue eyes that seemed to reflect Aoi's soul upon them. Like I would tell you anything, Aoi sneered, and Naruto simply smirked. Let's have some fun then, Naruto said, licking his lips in a typical Anko fashion, giving him shivers.
Damn kids, when did you learn that?
Kurama asked, surprised by his sudden change in attitude. When you have Kage Bunshin coupled with the Sharingan that grants you photographic memory, you are bound to learn quite a few things. And have you forgotten that I've read almost the entire library in Konoha? Naruto explained, and cut the feed, deciding to focus on Aoi first. Naruto activated Sharingan, but only gave him shivers. Aoi wouldn't budge. Let's try this. Magen Jigoku Goku no Jutsu, Hellfire technique. Naruto said, trapping Aoi in an illusion that gave the idea of being burned alive. This went on for a few minutes, and yet Aoi wouldn't crack. That alone isn't going to cut it, Aoi said weakly. Even though he didn't succumb to the illusion, he was weakened by it. I wonder why you won't talk. I mean, you are going to Konoha anyway, so why not make it easier for you? Naruto said, trying to rationalize with him. Isn't Konoha I'm afraid of, Aoi replied, and Naruto rose an eyebrow. Hey Kurama, I can't use Tsukiyomi yet. Can you lend me a hand? Naruto asked.
Of course. I'm always up for some fun,
Kurama said, smirking. Naruto activated Sharingan and channeled the Kyuubi's chakra to his eyes, turning them into blood red, with black vertical slits. Naruto gazed into Aoi and suddenly was dragged into Naruto's mind. Aoi wondered where he was until he was faced with steel cage doors that seemed to be meant to keep something locked up. However, that fought censures as the doors were fully unlocked. Aoi gazed inside only to see two blood red eyes glowing in the dark. The eyes were increasing in size as a figure could be seen approaching. A few seconds later, the figure itself appeared to Aoi, making him freeze in place. In front of him was an orange fox with 9 tails swirling. In front of him was the Kyuubi no Yoko, the most powerful Bijuu of all.
Oh, a snack. You're too good to me, kid.
Kurama said, walking slowly towards Aoi, who remained in place but apparently lost control of his bladder. I told you I wasn't a bad guy, Naruto replied, simply watching Aoi wet himself literally. Kurama approached Aoi, licking his teeth, getting ready to devour him. Okay, I'll tell you everything. No, Aoi started, not really managing to control his body at the moment. That wasn't so hard now, was it? Naruto asked rhetorically. Why do you want the water? Naruto asked. It was a mission. Our village leader makes acquiring the water a priority mission, but I know what he wants it for, Aoi coolly answered. I see, and who is your village leader? Naruto asked. Orochimaru, the snake Sanin, Aoi replied, and Naruto raised an eyebrow. Orochimaru found his own village, huh? Interesting. I'll tell the old man when I get back, Naruto thought. Anything else I should know? Naruto asked, and Aoi quickly shook his head, saying no. Naruto released the illusion and went behind him, giving a chop to the neck, knocking him out. Naruto released the paralysis seal and applied and said his chakra seal. He tied him up with the ninja wire and sealed him in the stasis scroll to keep him alive. Thanks, Kurama, Naruto said. With the others, Naruto made their way to the others' battle just in time to see them end. Naruto, are you good? Kurama asked. Yes, I have a sword and he's sealed in a stasis scroll. I'll take him back to questioning, but I did manage to find out that his village is run by Orochimaru, Naruto explained. Orochimaru? Kurama asked. Yes, we'll have to inform Gigi when we arrive at the village, Naruto said. How is everyone? He asked. We're good. Shino and Fu are a little out of breath, a few bruises and scratches, but nothing too minor, Hinata replied. Let's go to the village to rest and report the details, Kurama said. The village gates. Teammate led by Fu was approaching the gates of the Waterfall village. They arrived near the gate and they were stopped by two guards. The guards turned to approach the people and spotted a Konan team with Fu. So you're back already? One of the guards asked to Fu, clearly despising her. She frowned but nodded. Teammate caught this and weren't happy, primarily Naruto. My name is Yui Kurenai. I'm here with my team, Aburame Shino, Hyuga Hinata, and Uzumaki Naruto for negotiations, Kurenai said, handing them the scroll with the Hokage stamp. Welcome to the Waterfall village, the same guard said, and allowed them passage. They were walking towards the village's center where the village leader lived. Teammates seemed to notice that Fu was gaining the same hateful glares and the casual insults as Naruto did in Konoha. It seems that you two aren't liked here, Naruto said sadly. It's the fate of all Jinchuriki. We are all treated badly, but even then, there are some people that see us for us and not the beast, Fu explained. I don't understand why people can't see the difference between a scroll and a kunai. You are humans just like the rest of us, Hinata said. Naruto chuckled, but this laugh was filled with irony and got confused looks from everyone. Jinchuriki, the power of human sacrifice, Naruto started gaining the attention from everyone. I thought a lot about this, and the more I think about it, the more I realize that we aren't humans, Naruto said, gaining a gasp from everyone. Even the Kyuubi and Nabi were listening. Naruto got into a thinking pose before continuing. The moment the Bijuu are sealed into a human being, either it is a newborn or adult, we are bound with him until the end of our lives. Since if you remove the Bijuu from the host, he dies, Naruto said, and got gas from everyone. It is a strange thing, the Bijuu and their hosts. We do not need them, yet we cannot live without them. The moment they are trapped in us, they become a part of us, Naruto said, and everyone stopped walking and just stood there listening to the blonde. If we combine forces, we're unstoppable, and yet a piece of paper with ink can cripple us, making us strong yet fragile. Once we are bonded, each of the hosts gain a special ability that there is someone with it Genkai can achieve. Our chakra starts changing to adapt the Bijuu demon chakra, making it stronger than other humans. So you see, I'm not the beast, but I'm not the same human I was when I was born, Naruto concluded, and no one said anything. Everyone just started walking, thinking about what the blonde had said. Is it true, Fu thought? The kid is right, you know. The moment we bond, you become something else, because you aren't me, but you become different from the others. But even I don't know what, Chummy said.
That was something, kid, and here I thought you were a brat,
Kurama said, chuckling.
To think you could come up with something like this,
Kurama said, but Naruto only nodded and didn't say anything. Everyone just continued their path, thinking about what the blonde said. Waterfall Tower. They arrived at the center of the village and stopped in front of what was supposed to be the Waterfall Tower. They could see stairs going around the tree, and the tree itself was the building. They made their way up the tower and stopped facing two red doors that, according to Fu, led to Shibuki's office, the village leader. They knocked and heard someone say, "Enter." Teammate and Fu quickly complied and opened the doors and found themselves in a small, modest-looking office. There was a shelf with books, a small couch, a few pictures, and in the back was a desk with Shibuki behind working. Shibuki had black eyes and has long, dark brown hair. He also wears a forward protector symbolizing his shinobi status. He had gray pants, a green shirt, and ninja sandals. "Oh, Fu-chan, welcome back," Shibuki said, smiling. Apparently, he was one of the people Fu said treat her well. "Hi, mission accomplished, Shibuki-sama," Fu replied, and stepped out of the way so teammate could present themselves. "Thank you for having us, Shibuki-sama," said Kurenai, and then she started bowing. "My name is Yui Kurenai, and this is my team. Abarame Shino, Hyuga Hinata, and Uzumaki Naruto," she concluded. Everyone bowed in respect. "Not at all. I trust trial went well," Shibuki asked, and caught this slight hesitation in Konoha's team. "What happened?" he asked. "We were attacked by Konoha Nukenin Rokusho Aioi with 2 other Jonins. Apparently, they were from a new hidden village that was recently founded in Rice Country. They were after me, and their objective was stealing the hero water. Fortunately, we managed to win. Aoi was captured and both Jonin were killed," Fu explained, and Shibuki brought his hand to his chin and stood there processing the information. "Did you find out why they want it?" Shibuki asked. "I interrogated the leader Aoi, and apparently their village is called the Hidden Sound Village, and their leader is called as Nukenin Orochimaru the Snake Sani." Naruto stepped forward and explained. "That is troubling news," Shibuki started. "The water is very dangerous, even more in the hands of Orochimaru. I'll increase security on the borders and in the fountain to make sure he ain't finished. We'll take Aoi for interrogation back in Konoha, and we'll send you the information we find," Kurenai said. "Thank you, I appreciate it," Shibuki replied. "Now, Kurenai-san, shall we discuss the training agreements?" he asked, and Kurenai nodded. "Fu, accompany them to the hotel until we finish our talk," Shibuki said. Everyone bowed and left the room. Around the village. "You're right, this village is amazing," Naruto said as they were walking towards the hotel. The village had a naturalistic tone to it. There were trees, grass, and other plants everywhere. Even the terrain was earth itself. "Yes, and it seems to have many different bug species around," Shino said, observing the village, trying to find out the different bugs around. "Is that how you'll think about bugs?" Naruto asked, getting a bit creeped out. "You do realize bugs are my weapons, right?" Shino said in his usual stoic voice. "You know, Naruto," Fu began, "since you never use bugs, you don't realize how helpful they are. They're excellent for spying, they can steal chakra from the enemies and poison them, or remove poison in you, and many other things," Fu explained. "I guess that is true, or for information gathering, I have my Kagebunshin, and for poison, the QB takes care of that," Naruto said, and noticed that Shino was talking to Fu about bugs. "I guess those two won't shut up about bugs too soon. It's getting late, and it's nice weather. How about we go see this amazing sunset?" Naruto asked. "Who would have thought you were so romantic?" Hinata asked rhetorically, kissing him and dragging him along. And that they did. They managed to find a tall tree, they climbed it and sat on the very top, overlooking the darkening sky and the light of the village. "She's right. It's beautiful," Hinata said as she looked at the sky. The sun was going down, just dimly sending lights to the earth. A few clouds existed, it seemed that they were on fire. Hinata was snuggled into Naruto's chest, leaning her head on his shoulder. His arms were wrapped around her in a protective manner. "You know, these are the moments I treasure the most," Naruto said, embracing Hinata tighter into him, as if he let go, she would slip away. "When you are with me," he said, caressing her silky hair, "I wouldn't trade it for anything. I've never been happier than I am right now with you," she said. "Having you here with me makes me forget everything else. I don't even care that my father left me. They couldn't be called family. If it meant being with you, I would have left well before," she said, turning around and facing him, and staring at his deep blue eyes and his hair that seemed to dimly glow. "I don't care about the rest of the world. You were the first person that ever showed me real love," Naruto said. "And I will treasure you and protect you forever," he said, making her smile. Her dark blue hair floated in the wind and seemed to shine as the moon made its way up to the sky. "Love you, Naruto," she said. "Love you too, Hinata," Naruto replied, and leaned forward, wrapping his arms around her and pulling her closer. Her lips met with a deep, passionate kiss. It wasn't long, but it didn't matter. It was sufficient for either of them to understand the deep love they had for each other. They slowly separated and continued to watch the nightly sky until they both fell asleep in each other's arms. Next day. The next day had come, and apparently negotiations had gone well, and teammate was getting prepared to leave. They regrouped with Fu at the gate to say their goodbyes. Even though their stay was rather short and simple, it was pretty sufficient for them to slightly bond. After all, Naruto being Jinchuriki quickly became friends with Fu, as did Shino. "Don't become strangers, try to visit," Fu said. "Of course, we'll do our best," Hinata said. Hey Fu, I have a gift for you, Naruto said, and everyone rose an eyebrow. Here, Naruto said, and handed her a tri-pronged kunai. This is a very special kunai. If you need help or just want to talk, throw it at the ground and I'll be there in a flash, Naruto explained, smiling. Fu gladly accepted the gift, as there weren't many people that were good to her. Thank you, Fu said, and watched him leave and fade away with the distance. With Team 8. A few hours had gone by and Kunai couldn't contain her curiosity anymore. Naruto, I have a question, Kunai said. Shoot, Naruto answered. He already suspected where this was going already. That kunai gave Fu. That was a normal kunai, wasn't it? Kunai said, practically asking for an explanation. That kunai contains the Shiki formula for the Hirashi no Jutsu, Naruto explained, not revealing too much information, just waiting to see the reaction of his sensei. The Hirashi no Jutsu? But was the Yondaime's technique, Kunai stuttered, stopping and staring at Naruto. Looks like you figured it out, Naruto said. I can use it because it's my legacy. Minato Namikaze was my father, Naruto explained, and even Shino was surprised, finally forgetting his stoic face with one of shock. How is that possible, Kunai asked. What do you mean, Naruto said. Didn't your mother give you the talk, Naruto asked, making Hana and Kunai blush. Idiot, Kunai replied, smacking his head. The old man named me Uzumaki after my mother because my father had many enemies, primarily Iwa. I think I'm starting to protect myself and everyone I care about, so maybe I'll ask the old man to announce it when I become a Chunin, Naruto explained. To think I never realized that. Blonde hair and blue eyes. Only Yondaime had that particular combination, she replied. Don't worry, even Kakashi Sensei didn't realize, and he was the student, Naruto said. You told Kakashi, Kunai wondered? Yes, I've been training with him sometimes in the past few weeks, Naruto answered. I should have known when you used the Rasengan on Zabuza, she said to herself. The Hirashi no Jutsu was his most powerful technique, she said. My father truly was a genius in every sense of the word, Naruto said, remembering his brief talk when he met his father. But I can't use it on his level yet. I can't seem to handle extreme speeds yet. Every time I try multiple jumps, I end up crash into something, Naruto said, and Nana started laughing as she remembered Naruto crashed into walls and trees when he tried it. Still, you can use it, Kunai said. She was starting to piece everything together and was starting to realize that Naruto and I were prodigies. The skill they possess at such an age to master high-level jutsu and even create their own. My team is going to rock the Chunin exam, she thought, and I'm betting on them, she thought, laughing to herself. Hokage's office. And that's what happened, Kunai said. Geez, what's with these missions? First a C rank goes up to an A rank, and now a simple B rank almost goes S rank, Hokage said, smoking on his pipe. Old man, here, Naruto said, and threw him 2 scrolls. One of the scrolls has Aoi in stasis for more deep interrogation. The other has a sword he stole, the Raijin no Ken, Naruto said, and Yurisen's eyes widened. The Raijin no Ken was stolen many years ago by Aoi. He didn't think he would still have it. Yurisen unsealed the sword scroll. He channeled chakra through it, and the sword flared to life with yellow sparks. The Hokage stopped the chakra and fought for a moment before throwing to Naruto again. Naruto caught the sword but looked at the Hokage in confusion. The old man sighed and placed a sound barrier. This would be a long talk. What I'm about to tell you is a secret that only I know, the old man said. I trust you'll keep quiet, the Hokage asked, primarily Kurenai and Shino, who nodded. The Hokage pondered where to start. The sword belongs to you, Naruto, the Hokage said. What do you mean it belongs to me? Naruto asked, still in confusion. You have a Chia blood, however, you are the heir to the Senju clan, the Hokage said, and everyone froze. You could hear a pin drop on the floor. Everyone on Team 8 was looking at Naruto, who was still processing what the old man had told him. What? Naruto asked in a low voice. You know your mother was Uzumaki Kushina, and she came from Whirlpool country, right? The Hokage asked, and Naruto nodded. I'll start in the beginning. Hashirama Senju and his wife, Uzumaki Mito, had 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl. The girl was named Senju Tsunade, the well-known slug Sanin. Tsunade later in life had a child named Senju Kushina. However, due to the war, the Senju clan was decimated, leaving only Tsunade and Kushina to reform the clan. Due to them being women and not wanting to be a breeding stock, they faked Kushina's death, resulting in the birth of Uzumaki Kushina, the Hokage said. You know the rest, the Hokage concluded. Kushina married Mito when I was born, Naruto said, and Hokage nodded. Naruto didn't say anything for a few minutes as he thought about everything he learned. Wait, but then what about everything I found out about the Uzumaki clan in my father's compound, Naruto asked. I chose the Uzumaki name because they were cousins of the Senju clan. During the war, the Uzumaki clan was destroyed, but your mother and father went to Whirlpool Village and salvaged what they could. This is one of the reasons why your father was so good at Funjutsu, the Hokage said, and Naruto nodded until he remembered Tsunade. Is Tsunade still alive? Did she leave me? Naruto asked. I really want to know the answer. And I went to him and grabbed his hand. No, the Hokage said. Tsunade lost everything she had. Her lover and bird died in the war. Then the Kyuubi attacked and her daughter also died. She wasn't in the village at the time, but she heard the news and ran. I tried to find her, but I couldn't. She probably doesn't even know Kushina had a child, the Hokage explained. Naruto frowned for a few minutes thinking about it. Then I'll find her, bring her back to the village, Naruto said with his traditional smile. You took the news better than I expected, Hokage said. Well, if Tsunade had raised me, I would have probably never had found Hinata. Even though I had a hard life, I wouldn't trade her for anything, Naruto said, making Hokage smile, seeing Naruto's good values. That means Uzumaki is my real name. I kind of grew attached to it, Naruto said. Well, when you choose to reveal your heritage, you'll be able to pick the name you want for your clan. Senju, Namikaze, or even Uzumaki. Over Uchiha, you can't since Sasuke is the heir, the Hokage explained. Like I once lived with that idiot, Naruto said, laughing. Hokage chuckled. So the sword is mine, Naruto said. But what about Tsunade Bachan? Isn't she the heir? Naruto asked. The Hokage smiled, seeing Naruto call her Bachan. She hasn't been on active duty in more than 10 years. Since you already completed missions, you are currently the heir, the Hokage explained, and Naruto nodded. Naruto shone chakra to his sword, but the strangest thing happened. Instead of the usual yellow sparks, the sword flared, but with a bright blue color. The sword was sparkling with a lot more power than the 2 times he saw it. What the hell? Naruto said out loud. Why is it blue? Naruto asked. The Hokage went into Professor mode and quickly came up with a theory. Did you say that you had a very high light infinity? The Hokage asked, and Naruto nodded. Because of your high affinity, the sword probably reacted stronger to your chakra, probably making it more powerful, the Hokage explained. Guess I'm training up my metal sword, Naruto said, chuckling, and deactivated it. Suddenly, Naruto stiffened and he remembered something. He raised an eyebrow, asking what happened. I'm just thinking of what the council will say when they find out I belong to the 2 most powerful clans in the world, Naruto said, smirking. It's going to be so much fun, he said, and everyone's sweat dropped. The Hokage simply laughed. The old man hated council meetings, but apparently Naruto seemed to enjoy them. And that is the end of chapter 12. And now we'll be moving on to the last chapter of this video, which is chapter 13, with the beginning of the Chunin exams. Again, I wanted to initially do chapters 11 through 15, but again, I had to cut that down because again, this is an extremely long video, which yeah, I think you guys can understand where I'm coming from. So yeah, let's get into the last chapter of this video, chapter 13. Chunin exams begin. It was another simple day in Konoha. The sun was rising to a new warm day in the Leaf Village. The villagers were starting their own businesses, and Ino Shinobi were preparing for their daily lives. Currently finding Naruto and Hinata in Training Ground 8, sparring with Haku and Zabuza. Since Naruto got his sword, the Raijin no Ken, Thunder God's sword, he asked Zabuza for tips so he could rely on Kenjutsu in a real battle. And I was fighting Haku in an all-out contest. Haku could only keep up using her ice mirrors, which would lead to quick defeat due to massive chakra usage. Zabuza versus Naruto. Kenjutsu only, Zabuza said as he was facing Naruto. There are a few mirrors apart, each one grasping each sword. The Kubikuri Bocho versus the Thunder God. Agreed, Naruto said, and flared his sword to life, blue lightning emanating from the sword. It was sparkling in all its power. So not as powerful as my preferred weapon. Maybe one day I'll use it, but it sticks out too much, Naruto thought. Let's see what you can do, Zabuza said as he dashed forward towards Naruto. He went for a horizontal slash, but Naruto blocked it. He soon found out it was a bad idea because Zabuza had more brute force than him. Naruto was forced to jump back. Rule number 1, don't block strikes from enemies stronger than you, Zabuza said. Naruto ran towards Zabuza, he jumped in the air and tried a vertical slash. Zabuza sidestepped and tried to kick him in the chest. Naruto blocked and caught his leg and threw him in the air. Zabuza quickly regained balance and landed gracefully on the ground. Not bad, Brad, but if you want to beat me in a Kenjutsu, you need more strength, Zabuza said. I could always beat you in speed, Naruto said, smirking and deactivated his gravity seals. Zabuza saw his body lightly glowing and braced himself. Naruto disappeared in a show of speed. Zabuza, out of instinct, brought his sword up just in time to deflect an attack that would behead him. Naruto disappeared again, and this time Zabuza jumped out of the way just as Naruto came from the sky with a vertical slash. I give it to you, you are fast, but that alone isn't enough. I have years of experience, Zabuza said, and raised his sword once again. He dashed forward with impressive speed and exchanged a few blows with Naruto. However, Zabuza just couldn't keep up in speed, and waving around that big sword certainly didn't help. You can't keep up with me in speed, Naruto said, and continued to parry his strikes, quickly shifting his position, putting Zabuza on his toes. Zabuza had enough of this, and he slowly relaxed, focusing on his senses, and realized an attack was coming from the right. He brought his sword up, but instead of simply blocking, he pushed strength into his sword, making Naruto lose his balance. Zabuza took this opportunity by quickly repositioning his sword at his neck. I win, speed alone isn't enough, Zabuza said, removing the blade from his neck. One of these days, I'll defeat you in Kenjutsu, Naruto said, deactivating his sword. Hinata versus Haku. Ready, Haku-san? Hinata asked, shifting into position and activating her Byakugan. Always, Haku replied, picking up Senbon and placing free in each hand. Hinata quickly ran towards Haku. She shifted to the left to quickly avoid a Senbon from. With her Byakugan, she could easily track the incoming Senbon. Hinata arrived near Haku and went for a Juken strike to the chest. Haku quickly ducked and went for a low kick. Hinata jumped up and tried a dropkick, making Haku roll to the left. They both dashed towards each other and exchanged blows, Haku quickly realizing that she was no match for Hinata in taijutsu. Hinata was simply avoiding all of her attacks as if she were dancing. Haku tried once again to punch straight to the face, however Hinata sidestepped and quickly, with an infused strike, managed to close a few tenketsus in her wrist. Haku gave up on taijutsu and jumped back, nursing her left hand. Haku started going through one-hand seals and said Sensatsu Suisho, thousand flying water needles to death, and sent countless senbon towards Hinata. Hinata said Kaiten and started spinning in a blue dome of chakra, completely blocking all the senbons. Haku took that time and forced chakra towards her tenketsu to painfully open them. Hinata was primarily a water user since it was her first affinity she trained at. Since there wasn't a nearby lake, she decided to quickly change the terrain to her advantage. She quickly went for a few hand seals and shouted Suiton Shishosha, explaining water wave, and pumped her chest full of water, expelling it through her mouth. In a few seconds, the terrain ground was filled with water. That might have been a bad move, Hinata-san. With this much water, it's so much easier for me to use my ice release, Haku said. But now I continued to stare at her, getting ready for her next move. Ice release, fine ice shards, Haku said, and like Hinata, she started spinning. However, she wasn't blocking anything. Haku was spinning and the water was rising up around her. Suddenly, the water around her started freezing, and from it came thousands upon thousands of ice shards. I can't hold up my kain long enough to block all those, so I fought and started going through some hand seals. She stopped and said, Suiton, Suijin Heki's Waterfall. Water rose from the ground and wrapped around her, blocking all the ice shards. However, Haku continued to send them in, and Hinata had to do something. I got it, Hinata thought. I hope this works. I haven't completely mastered it. Hinata kept inside the water dome, with the shards continuing to rain down. She concentrated and suddenly released a vast amount of lightning chakra that radiated through her body and spread throughout the water, effectively shocking Haku. That was surprising. I didn't know he could use the lightning element, Haku said, lightly twitching. Just discovered a few weeks ago, Hinata said, as she released her protective dome and said, Suiton, Suryudon no Jutsu, Water Dragon, and a big dragon rose from the ground and rushed Haku. Haku barely managed to create an ice dome around her to shield her from the attack. Haku released her jutsu and looked around, trying to find Hinata. Suddenly, behind Haku, Hinata rose from the water, kunai in hand, trying to kill her. Haku sensed her and was faster than her, and created an ice blade around her arm, quickly slashed Hinata, making her dispel in a splash of water. Mizu Bunshin, Haku said, surprised, and suddenly felt a cold seal at her throat. She realized that Mizu Bunshin was only a distraction. Looks like I win, Hinata said with a small smile. I look forward to next time, Haku said, sitting on the ground, slightly out of breath. You okay? Hinata asked, concerned with her. Yeah, someone chakra. What about you? Haku asked, surprised that Hinata wasn't even winded, and she used a couple of high chakra domain jutsus, and that defensive dome is killer on anyone's reserves. When you train for years with a stamina freak and chakra monster, you tend to increase your own reserves if you want to keep up, Hinata said, chuckling, and Haku simply looked smiling. Haku was happy since she came to the Leaf. She had a simple and peaceful life. No more crappy beds and constantly having to watch out for hunters. Training Ground 8. Kurenai and Shino were approaching their team's training ground when they all saw the commotion. Kurenai and Shino had their jaws on the ground when they saw Naruto hold his own against Zabuza, one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, and even Hinata using high-ranking water jutsu. I might have to increase my training if I want to have something to teach him, Kurenai said, and Shino only nodded. They really were growing to find a young shinobi. Naruto, Hinata, Kurenai said, gaining their attention. Zabuza-sensei, see you tomorrow and thank you, Naruto said, and Zabuza simply nodded. Hey Haku, want to stick around? Hinata asked. Sorry, my shift in the hospital starts in a few minutes, and later I have my own team meeting, Haku said, and Hinata nodded, and both Zabuza and Haku left the training ground. So, Kurenai-sensei, what are we doing today? Naruto asked. Kurenai placed her hand in her pockets and took 3 pieces of paper and gave one to each. These are inscription papers for your Chunin exams. I nominated you 3, so if you want to participate, be at the academy in a week, Kurenai explained. Flashback. The Hokage was in his office, and in front of him were all of Konoha's Jonin senseis and a few other shinobi. I called you all here for a reason, Hokage said. Since the majority were Jonin senseis, many of them are respected the meaning of this. Is it time already, Kakashi asked, and Hokage nodded. Yes, tomorrow I will formally announce that this year we are hosting Chunin exams, Hokage explained. Now, either of you want to nominate teams for the exams, Hokage asked, and Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, and Guy stepped forward. I, Hatake Kakashi, Jonin Sensei of Team 7, nominate Uchiha Sasuke, Inosuke Kiba, and Haruno Sakura for the exams, Kakashi said. I, Yui Kurenai, Jonin Sensei of Team 8, nominate Uzumaki Naruto, Yuko Hinata, and Aburame Shino for the exams, Kurenai said. I, Maito Guy, Jonin Sensei of Team 9, nominate Hyuga Neji, Rock Lee, and Higurashi Tenten for the exams. Guy said in a serious tone that surprised everyone that expected him to start shouting. I, Sarutobi Asuma, Joint Sensei Team 10, nominate Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaki Ino, and Akamichi Choji for the exams. Asuma finished, and everyone started whispering about all the rookies being nominated. Wait a minute, I understand Naruto and Nana, but the rest aren't ready for exams, Iruka shouted. Wait, you say that they are unprepared except the dead last and the shy princess, Asuma said, laughing. Hey Asuma, how about a small bet, Kurona asked, inwardly smirking. What kind of bet, Asuma replied. The team that has more members promoted wins, Kurona said. What about the odds, Asuma said. How about this, if I win, you can't smoke for a month, Kurona said, and Asuma chuckled. Fine, but if I win, I get to take you out on a date, Asuma said, and Kurona slightly blushed. And the flashback. Now, how about a few spars of me to see what you learned? I already saw you against Zabuza and Haku, but more training is never back, Kurona said, and only after she said that, she began wondering if it was a good idea. Okay, Kurona-sensei, you're against me, Naruto said, and Kurona gulped. Naruto was a chakra monster, and his taijutsu was pretty good. She would have to rely on her genjutsu and hope it was enough. How wrong she was. Can I go all out? Naruto asked, and Kurona was wondering if she was leaving us alive. Sure, as long as I live, she said, and Naruto chuckled. Get ready, Kurona-sensei, Naruto said, and dashed forward at blind speed and crashed into Kurona, who didn't expect him to be that fast. They tumbled across the ground until they stopped. Damn, sorry, Kurona-sensei, I forgot I disabled my gravity seals, Naruto said, chuckling, and helped Kurona up, who was still dazed from the impact. You should consider that a tight jutsu move, Kurona said, nursing her head. She felt she was hit with concrete. Here I go, Naruto said. Gaton, Gokyaku no Jutsu, great fireball technique, and sent a fireball towards Kurona. She jumped out the way and flashed through the hand seals and started vanishing in the air. Naruto saw this and activated Sharingan. Behind Naruto, a tree spread and wrapped around him. Kurona quickly appeared on the tree with a kunai getting ready to stab Naruto. However, Naruto performed the genjutsu counter using his Sharingan, and the illusion was switched, making Naruto on the tree, getting ready to kill Kurona. Kurona saw this and bit her lip to quickly break the illusion. The illusion broke and she ducked just in time to avoid a horizontal slash with the Thunder God sword. Naruto saw her ducking and he quickly adjusted and planted a quick, powerful strike to her chest. She was able to block it, but the force enough to send her tumbling to the ground. Kurona recovered and threw a couple of shuriken towards Naruto. Naruto had a Sharingan activated and saw that a few of them had no chakra and realized it was an illusion and quickly dispelled it. Kurona-sensei, genjutsu is useless against me, even though its powerful one is meaningless, Naruto said. Naruto, just because you have a Sharingan, it doesn't mean you aren't immune to them, Kurona scowled. It's not because of Sharingan. Since I am on good terms with Kyuubi, he can disrupt my chakra from the inside, dispelling any illusion, Naruto explained, and Kurona cursed her luck. There was no way she wouldn't win now, she would have to catch him by surprise. They both eyed each other, waiting for the others to make their first move. Neither of them wanted to make the first wrong move. Suddenly, Naruto picked a few shurikens up and threw them at her, saying, Kaiga Shuriken no Jutsu, and 5 shurikens multiplied to 100. Naruto went through more hand seals and said, Futon Daitopa, or the Great Breakthrough. The shurikens gained incredible speed and rushed towards Kurona. She didn't have many options to dodge, so she used the Kawarimi with a nearby log. She recovered and searched her surroundings just in time to jump out of the way, out of a hand that sprouted from the ground that tried to snatch her. As she jumped back, a presence appeared behind her and said, Katsu! And then the Naruto clone exploded and sent Kurona crashing into a tree, leaving her drifting in and out of consciousness. Naruto appeared behind her with a kunai to her neck. Congrats, Naruto. You are more than ready for your Chunin exams, Kurona said weakly. She was almost fully of chakra and her clothes were singed from the explosion. You aren't in good shape, Sensei, Naruto said, and bit his thumb and slammed his hand onto the ground and said, Kuchiyos no Jutsu, summoning technique, and out came Kagura. Kagura, can you heal Kurona-sensei? I was a bit rough in the spar, Naruto said, smiling sheepishly, rubbing the back of his head.
A bit rough. You literally blew her up,
Kurama said, chuckling. It was only an explosive clone and wasn't fully charged, Naruto replied.
Your luck otherwise. You might have killed her. She never saw a chance against someone like you. You have better taijutsu. Your ninjutsu is ridiculous. And even though you can't perform them in a genjutsu, you're immune to it,
Kurama explained, and Naruto simply nodded. Naruto and Kurona walked back to the middle of the train ground to see Anai crouched on the ground healing a passed out Shino. What happened? Kurona said, still nursing her ribs that were a bit sore. I used the wire jutsu on Shino and he didn't have time to dodge and it crashed into him and knocked him out cold, and I explained. Naruto and Kurona's sweat dropped at the way she just casually explained it. Okay, you can leave. I'll take Shino home, Kurona said, and everyone left the train grounds. Middle of Konoha. Naruto and I were walking peacefully through Konoha, and they noticed that the glares they received were somewhat different. The glares showed more fear than anything. Hey Hime, is it just me, or are the glares more discreet? Naruto asked. Yeah, they don't seem to openly glare you now. They seem scared. I wonder why, though, Hinata replied. Maybe it's because of my son during the council meeting, Naruto said, chuckling, and Hinata giggled. What do you want to do? Naruto asked. I'm kind of hungry since I had 2 matches. How about we go for some cinnamon rolls? Hinata said with a watery mouth. You really have a nasty sweet tooth, Naruto said, chuckling. Let's go. They're walking peacefully until they notice a box following them. Does he really think we didn't notice him? Naruto whispered to Hinata. Apparently, she replied. You can come out, Konohamaru, Naruto said. Suddenly the box exploded, a massive cloud in multicolored smoke. From the smoke appeared 3 kids around the age of 8. The kid in the middle was Konohamaru. He was the grandson of Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Sandaime Hokage. They became good friends a few months ago when they met. Flashback. It was the day after the gang graduation. Both Naruto and I were standing in front of the Hokage work on a ninja license. Naruto's photograph was rather expressive, and the Hokage wanted him to retake the photo. Suddenly, the room door busted open, and Naruto didn't even think as he channeled tracker to his sword shields and his wristband and pulled a few shuriken. Hey, gee, the kid didn't even manage to say 2 words, and he was already frozen. The kid was pinned to the wall with 10 shurikens for his clothing. Naruto, what did you do? The Hokage asked with his eyes widened. Naruto was really fast to react. Naruto took a moment to realize that the person who busted through the door was about 8 years old, and in his hand were 1 shuriken. What did you expect, old man? This is what happens when you surprise Shinobi, Naruto said, trying to apologize even though he didn't do anything wrong. The Hokage just shook his head at the actions of his grandson. Naruto, take him from the wall, the Hokage said. Naruto went towards the kid and removed the shuriken. My bad, kid, though you shouldn't surprise Shinobi, Naruto said, and the kid continued to look at him. What's your name, boss? Can you teach me that? The kid asked. I'm Naruto, kid, but you should be starting the academy this year, so they'll teach that to you there, Naruto explained. I'm not a kid, I'm starting to be Konohamaru, future Hokage of Konoha, the kid now identified as Konohamaru said. Naruto smirked at the kid. He reminded a little bit of himself. Something through the busted door came running Shinobi. Humble grandson, there you are, Ebisu said, and then he looked at the room, and then he noticed Naruto. Oh, it's the closet pervert. How are you doing? Naruto asked. I'm not a pervert, you brat, Ebisu said, glaring daggers at him. Whatever you say, Naruto said, and performed one of his most powerful techniques, an SSS rank forbidden jutsu, the technique that shall not be named, the one and only, Oriroke no Jutsu. In a puff of smoke appeared a beautiful blonde girl, completely naked except with smoke covering all the important parts. Both the Hokage and Ebisu flew into the air and crashed into the ground, passed out by blood loss. Wow, boss, teach me that jutsu. You managed to defeat the old Hokage and Ebisu at the same time, Konohamaru said. Naruto was about to reply when, Naruto-kun, you aren't teaching that, are you? Hinata asked in a very sweet voice that made them both back up a few steps. Of course not, Naruto said nervously, scratching the back of his head. Come on, Hime, Konohamaru, let's leave them on the ground, Naruto said, trying to defuse the situation. All 3 of them left the room. And the flashback. What do you want, Konohamaru? Naruto asked. Do you want to play ninja? Konohamaru asked. Suddenly the 3 of them heard laughter. They turned around to see the pink banshee Sakura. What kind of ninja plays ninja? Sakura smugly asked. It's pretty fun actually. Besides, you get to train stealth, traps, strategy, and tracking, Hinata explained, and Sakura just got deadpan. Go away, flat-chested, Konohamaru said, and an immense silence followed. Konohamaru, you should run now, Naruto said, as he saw a murderous purple aura around Sakura that would put Orochimaru to shame. Konohamaru gulped and started running with Sakura in hot pursuit. Naruto and Hinata just laughed as they watched. Sakura chased Konohamaru, and obviously Sakura, being a fangirl, had a diet going on to keep her figure, so she barely could keep up with an 8-year-old. Konohamaru was still running, and he made a sharp turn and crashed into an Shinobi that was around the corner. Damn it, brat, that hurt, Shinobi said, and picked up Konohamaru by the collar, getting ready to apply some punishment. Naruto and I heard the crash and went to investigate. They arrived and saw 2 strange Shinobis with sand hit that day. The one holding Konohamaru wore a black, baggy, full bodysuit with a red and yellow circle on the front. He also wore a black hood which covered his head completely and had cat-like ears and his forehead protector on his forehead. He also had a bundle on his back with white bandages surrounding it completely. The other Shinobi's outfit consisted of a single leg purple-colored, off-the-shoulders garment that extended to halfway down her thighs, with a scarlet sash tied around her waist, in addition to incorporating a fishnet worn over her shoulders and legs, specifically on her right calf and her left thigh. She wore her black forehead protector around her neck. Leave the kid alone, Kankuro, the Kunoichi in the back said. I've got to teach him some respect, Tamari, Kankuro replied to the female shinobi. Fine, but if you get in trouble, I'm not helping, Tamari replied, and Kankuro nodding, he got ready to smash his fist in Konohamaru. Sakura just watched, scared of them, until both Naruto and I arrived at the scene. Hey, clown, put Konohamaru down, Naruto said. Who you calling a clown, Kankuro said. You're wearing a full-body catsuit with makeup, Naruto replied. It's not makeup, it's war paint, Kankuro said, getting pissed off. Whatever you say, just put the brat down, Naruto said, getting ready to sprint to action if need be. I'm teaching him some manners, Conqueror said, as he made a fist and prepared to punch Konohamaru. Both Naruto and Naruto vanished in an instant. To any untrained eyes, they were just blurs. 1 second later, Hinata had Temari with a kunai at her throat, just as Naruto had Kankuro. Naruto's kunai now was a free prawn with the Harashin seal, however, none of them recognized it. Now, how about you put him down gently, Naruto said in his sweetest voice, and a small blood drop fell from Kankuro's neck. Kankuro and Temari were sweating. They didn't see the move, and they were just blurs. Besides, your teammate doesn't seem very happy, Naruto said, pointing towards a nearby tree. Suddenly from behind the tree appeared another Sand Shinobi. He is a little shorter than the average males of his age. He has fair skin and short, spiky auburn hair, which was sometimes depicted as red. He has green eyes and no distinctive pupils or eyebrows either. He has 2 very notable traits in his appearance. Firstly, he has Snooki-like black eye rings, having them since his birth. Secondly, he carved a kanji love on the left side of his forehead. Gara, Conqueror said in a dry voice, clearly fearing a shinobi, not identified as Gara. He made a sand Shunshin towards his team, just as Naruto and Hinata retracted their kunais and regrouped Sakura now to release Konohamaru. They managed to get behind Temari and Kankuro. They're good, Gara thought. Stop this or I'll kill you, Gara said, and Kankuro took a step back. I was just teaching them a lesson, Kankuro shakily said. Shut up, you're a disgrace to our village, Gara said in his usual cold tone. You know, Naruto said, gaining attention from the redhead. It's nice to meet you, Ichi, Naruto said, and the sand team froze. They knew very well what he meant. And by the way, for those who are asking, Ichi means 1. How do you know? Gara asked. Naruto simply turned around to show them the kanji for 9 written on his back. The football says that Tanuki is one crazy bastard, Naruto said. Mother says you are strong. I'll prove my existence by killing you, Gara said, unleashing killer intent as the sand was starting to leave his gourd and dance around him. Poor Sakura was on the ground, barely managing to breathe from the amount of killer intent. Naruto simply amplified his own that overwhelmed Gara's ki to the point that his team took a step back. Temari and Kankuro were just shitting their pants. Here was Jinchuriki like their brother, but he had the strongest of the demons, the Kyubi no Yoko. Suddenly another team arrived where they were, but his team was from the Cloud Village and they were being accompanied by what seemed to be their joint sensei. He has dark skin and muscular build, as well as white hair and a goatee. On his right shoulder he has a tattoo with the kanji for iron, and on his left cheek he has a tattoo of a bull's horn. His top lip also has a slightly darker hue than his bottom one. He wears old-shaped sunglasses and a white-colored floor protector. He also has his village's Saren one strap over one shoulder flak jacket and a long red robe tied around his waist. The Saren Kumo hand and shin guards, shinobi sandals, and a white scarf around his neck. He also carries 7 swords on his back. The rest of his team, they were 2 girls and a boy. One of the girls had long straight blonde hair bound with taut bandages and dark eyes. She wore a short sleeved black and purple blouse and black pants, both of which had a design similar to clouds on them. Purple fingerless gloves and a chain of white beads wound around her left hand. She also wore the Saren Kumo 4 protector, sandals, and kunai holster, which is strapped to her right thigh. She also wore bandages around her arms and legs, as well as a red belt around her waist. The other girl is a dark-skinned Konichi with blonde red hair and amber eyes. She wears a long, short-sleeved dress with frilly edges, complete with the Kumogakur flak jacket, 2 simple yellow earrings, fishnet stockings, thigh-high boots with white soles, and a 4 protector which she wears like a bandana. She also carries a long sword on her back. The final member was a male. He is a dark-skinned Kumo-nin with short, spiky white hair and dark eyes, accented with lines curving upwards from the corners. He wears a dark outfit consisting of a overlong shirt with a hood with ram bandage hand guards, Kumogakur shin guards, and a black 4 protector. He also carries a sword on his back like her teammate. As usual, the Kyubi instantly warned Naruto of the others. Is this a reunion? Naruto asked and turned to Kumo team. Nice to meet you, 2, 8. I'm Uzumaki Naruto, Naruto said. Sakura and Konohamaru were oblivious to what was happening, but the rest could feel the tension rise between the teams. Kumo tried to kidnap Hinata when she was 6, so both of them were a bit weary of them, and Gara seemed like he was about to jump in and attack all of them. Nice to meet you, Mr. 9. I fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee. I'm the Jinchuriki Hachi Bee, the mighty killer bee, Bee shouted, pumping his fist into the air. Shut up, Bee, the blonde girl yelled and bonked him on the head. I'm Ni Yukito, she said. Omoi said. Kaori said. Suddenly, another team joined the fray as her team sensed attention in the village. Do you mind if I joined the party? A girl with green hair asked. Everyone turned to newcomers, and both Naruto and Nana said, "Foo!" surprised to see her. I guess everyone here is going to Chunin exams, Naruto asked, and everyone nodded. It should be fun. It seems to be they're just playing competition around here, Naruto said, and Fu smirked. Standing around Gaara just seemed to dance around him even more when he noticed the arrival of the Kumo team. Kankura and Tamaru were swaying bullets as they noticed a smile on Gaara's face. Kakashi, Kiba, and Sasuke soon arrived when they sensed the killer intent being raided by Gaara and Naruto when they met. Hey Kakashi Nissan, Naruto said. What's going on here? Kakashi said, as he noticed what seemed to be some sort of face-off. There was a team from Kumo, Sand, and Taki. He also sensed some tension in the air between all of them. Kakashi-sensei, you better train your team if you want them to survive. I can guarantee you right now that everyone here will reach the finals, Naruto said, and everyone smirked except Team 7 and Kakashi, who were still oblivious to what was happening. What makes you think that? Kakashi asked, and Naruto chuckled. What's so funny, Dobi? Sasuke asked. Nothing, Naruto replied. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said, gaining his attention. Ichi, Naruto said, pointing to Gaara. Ni, Naruto said, pointing to Yukito. Nana, Naruto said, pointing to Fu. Achi, Naruto said, pointing to B. Q, Naruto said, pointing to himself. When Naruto finished, Kakashi's eyes widened. In front of him were 5 of the 9 Jinchurikis. It was extremely rare for them to meet by chance, but it appears that fate played a hand in this. Don't try to look cool like Sasuke-kun, Sakura yelled. Shut it, Sakura. I'm allowing you to go into Chunin exams, but if you see enemy teams, you surrender immediately. Do I make myself clear? Kakashi asked in serious tone, and she nodded. Like they can win against me and Uchiha, Sasuke said with his traditional arrogant smirk. I'll enjoy spilling your noble blood, Uchiha, Gaara said, and everyone got shivers. The furball was right. You are a crazy Tsunuki, Naruto said, and Yukito, Fu, and B snickered. It's been fun. See you at the exams, Naruto said, and left with Hinata. The rest soon dispersed and went to their business. With Team 7, I was serious when I said that. If you run into any of those teams, you run. Do I make myself clear? Kakashi asked, and both Kiba and Sakura quickly nodded. Was Uchiha's response. Let's go train. You need to be more prepared for this, Kakashi said, and drag his team to the training grounds. Naruto and Nada. You knew that there would be so many of us competing, Naruto said. The exams would prove to be interesting, he said. Don't tell me you want to fight them, Hinata asked. Of course, all Jinchuriki tend to be strong. It's no fun fighting weak opponents, Naruto said, and Hinata shook her head. Let's go. I'm teaching you a few tricks against Jinchuriki since you might need them against 3 of them, Naruto said. Sand team. Gaara, I think we should avoid that blonde kid, Conqueror said. He was fearful of both of them. Shut up. I'll enjoy spilling his blood as the Uchiha's. Yes, I shall prove my existence with their blood, Gaara said. Kumo team. That blonde kid seems strong, Yukito started. Do you think he can work with the Kyuubi, she asked? Hachibi says that the Kyuubi never got along with his host, but we better hope he can't. Even the Hachibi can't go against him, Killer B said. What if we end up facing them in Chunin exams, and then he unleashes the Kyuubi leading to the destruction of the Leaf Village, Omoi said, getting a smack from Karui. But the way he knew all of us, it seems that he at least talks with him, so just be careful, B said, for the first time without rhymes. Taki team. How do you know the blonde kid? One of his teammates asked. I escorted his team to our village in one mission, Fu explained, but be careful. He faced and defeated Konoha Nukanen named Aoi, who was a Jonin, she said, and her team's eyes bulged out. Did you use the Kyuubi's power? The other teammate asked. No, I didn't sense anything at all. It was all him, so let's be careful around him. Also, the girl is his girlfriend, but she also took down a Jonin. So he must be on our toes with his team, Fu explained, and he dumbly nodded. 1 week later, Naruto and I were at home getting ready for going to the academy to start their exam. Both of them had new wristbands with sword seals for shurikens, senbon, kunais, and their swords. Each one also carried in their scroll a bit larger with food supplies, first aid kits, a few poisons, and general antidotes. Anything you might need, you never know what would happen or what kind of tests they would face. You ready, Hinata asked. Yes, let's go kick some ass, Naruto replied and left the house, heading towards the academy. Academy. They arrived at the academy using a Shunshin and noticed that Shina was already there waiting for them. Sorry we're late. It took a while to gather supplies, Naruto said. Not a problem. Let's go, Shina said, and the 3 of them entered the academy. Teammate came inside the academy to find their sensei waiting for them. Kurenai sensei, what are you doing here? Naruto asked. I'm here to say good luck. I'm glad all of you decided to participate, Kurenai explained. Thank you, sensei. We're going to kick ass, Naruto said, and Kurenai smiled. Teammate continued through the academy heading towards the designated room, which was room 1 in the 3rd floor. They arrived and noticed a small gathering of gang teams trying to enter the exam room. Genjutsu, and I whispered to her team and both nodded their heads. It's your cousin's team. They must be trying to downplay their skill, Naruto said. Just as they were about to leave to the next floor, since this room was the wrong one and was being masked by a small Genjutsu, Team 7 arrived with their noses held high. Drop this Genjutsu now, Sasuke commanded. That idiot, Naruto fought as Hinata and Shino fought along the same lines. My favorite cousin, what are you doing here? Neji asked in his confident tone. Neji was Hinata's cousin and was Tails' a Hyuga prodigy. Oh boy, if only he knew. Neji had long black hair that reached the middle of his back and was tied back a few inches above the end in a loose ponytail, while two straps attached to a smaller headband underneath his ninja forehead protector framed the sides of his face. He wore a black forehead protector that he wore snugly over his forehead. He wore a khaki shirt under which he wore a dull blue shirt with mesh armor underneath it, dark brown shorts, blue shinobi sandals, and he also had bandages wrapped around his right arm, chest, and right leg. Participating in his Chunin exams, of course, she explained. She seems different. At least her stuttering is gone, Neji thought. It's worthless. You are afraid to be a loser and a worthless Kunoichi, Neji smugly replied. I don't believe in fate, and I should rise above it as should you. No one controls our destiny. We alone make our decisions, and I explained, trying to reach her knucklehead of a cousin. Not possible. You cannot change fate, and I shall prove it to you in these exams, Neji said and walked off. Hinata just shook her head. I guess we have to beat him to prove it that fate doesn't mean anything, Naruto said, and Hinata simply nodded. Neji wasn't a bad person, he was just blinded by his hate towards the main branch of the Yuga family. Another member of Neji's team approached forward, heading towards Team 7 teammate. He possessed very thick eyebrows and large, rounded black eyes with prominent lower eye lashes. His hair is cut and styled into a bowl cut style like Guy, and he also began wearing the same attire, consisting of a green jumpsuit, orange leg warmers, and a red forehead protector worn as his belt. Holy shit, it's a clone of Guy, Naruto all but shouted. I see you know my youthful sensei, Maito Guy. I am Rock Lee. It's a pleasure to meet such a youthful person, Lee yelled, making a few bring their hands to ears, thinking it was a futon jutsu. Yeah, sure. Nice to meet you, Uzumaki Naruto, Naruto said, and extended his hand that Lee gladly took. Are you Uchiha Sasuke? Lee asked to the duck-shaped haired shinobi that was standing nearby. In fact, anyone who would know who he was since he had the Uchiha crest on his shirt and was last Uchiha in Konoha. So the boy turned to face him and merely nodded. I wish to fight you, Lee said with his trademark nice guy pose. You know who I am, and you want to fight? You're a fool. But it might be a good warm-up, Sasuke said. Come, I want to watch this, Naruto said, and Team 7 teammate left with Lee to watch the match. Dobi, watch carefully, you might learn something, Sasuke said smugly to Naruto was saying in the balcony. I intend to, Naruto replied, chuckling, and activated his Sharingan hiding under his usual genjutsu. Both Sasuke and Lee were facing each other with the rest of Team 7 nearby. With teammate, strange, Naruto thought as he analyzed Lee with his Sharingan. Hey, can you check Lee's chakra levels, Naruto asked, and Nana nodded. She activated Byakugan and gasped. I think he can't use chakra. His chakra pathways are too small. He probably can't mold chakra, Nana explained. Lee was basically a civilian. I thought so. If he can't use genjutsu or ninjutsu, he can only resort to taijutsu, so he must be good, Naruto said as he watched the beginning of the fight. Sasuke versus Lee. Sasuke ran forward and tried to punch Lee, however he disappeared just as Sasuke's fist was about to connect. Sasuke regained his footing just in time to see Lee in the air about to spin. Konoha Senpu, Leaf Whirlwind, Lee said, and spin trying to kick Sasuke. Sasuke ducked to avoid it, then Lee, watching Sasuke duck, placed his hand on the ground and went for another spin kick. Sasuke watched him and knew he wouldn't be able to dodge, but tried to block. Lee, however, was faster and his kick connected with Sasuke's face and sent him tumbling to the ground. A good opponent. It gives me the opportunity to try this, Sasuke said and looked arrogantly to Lee. With teammates. Oh, Sasuke managed to activate his precious Sharingan, Naruto said. 2 Tomoes in each eye too, not bad. Lee versus Sasuke. With these eyes from the fable, Sasuke smirked. So that's the Sharingan, Lee said and got ready to continue his duel. Sasuke ran forward, confident of his superiority. Lee dashed forward but managed to bypass his defenses. Lee stood next to Sasuke. He bent down and gave him a kick to the chin that sent him into the air and crashing into the ground again. Sasuke got up, wondering what was going on, and ran again towards Lee. They faced each other, but Lee won every single skirmish, often sending him tumbling to the ground. Sasuke's Sharingan was rendered useless. With teammate, figures, Sasuke doesn't stand a chance, Naruto said. But shouldn't the Sharingan be able to track him, Hinata asked. The Sharingan can track Lee, yes. However, Sasuke isn't fast enough to position himself to block the attacks. Even though Sasuke can clearly see Lee's attacks, he can't defend himself against them. There's a reason why I trim my body and use gravity seals. The Sharingan alone doesn't make you all powerful, Naruto explained. So there is a weakness in those eyes, Shino stated. Weakness per se doesn't stem from the eyes, but from the fact that Sasuke's body isn't trained to handle those speeds, so he can't match them. Let's leave. This fight is over, Naruto said, and teammate left towards the exam room since it was about to start. Exam room. Teammate arrived to the right floor and they stopped near the exam room and opened the doors. They stepped in and were immediately blasted with killer intent. However, to someone that felt the Kiwi's killer intent, something like this didn't bother them. Naruto entered the room and scanned it with his Sharingan hidden, taking as many faces as possible and watching weapons and other details that he could find. He also noticed the team from Kumotaki and Sand. Moments later, Team 7 also arrived with Sasuke in bad shape. He had his right cheek bruised, and neither of them knew any type of medical jutsus, so it remained there. Looks like the gang is all here, Kiba said as they entered the room and saw Team 7 and Team 10. Sasuke, do you want me to heal your face? Not asked. After everything she suffered, she remained a kind person. This scratch is meaningless, Sasuke said. My Sasuke is so strong, Sakura thought as she wandered in her thoughts about healing her Chiha. Sasuke-kun! Ino yelled as she ran and hugged the poor Chiha from behind, much to the displeasure of Sakura. I thought you wouldn't be coming, Whiskers, the girl said. Everyone turned around and saw Yukito making her way towards Naruto with her team. Whiskers? Now that is a good name, Hinata said, laughing. Don't you dare, Naruto said, pointing to her. What are you going to do? Hinata asked in a teasing voice. Naruto simply shrugged and walked to her and planned to focus on her list and left her dazed. Wow, do I get one of those every time I call you Whiskers? Hinata wondered with a finger on her chin, making her look very cute. Get a room, you two, Nino said, making both of them blush. Just my luck, Yukito pouted. The cute guys are always taken. Keep it down, some guy said. Everyone turned to face him. He wore a pair of circular glasses. He has onyx eyes and ash gray hair, which he kept in a ponytail that extends to his upper back, with his bangs framing either side of his forehead. He wore a dark purple shirt with a high collar, a white undershirt, dark purple fingerless gloves with armor plates on the back of the hand, a white cloth waistband worn at an angle, dark purple pants, blue sandals, and a shuriken holster on his right leg. You are putting everyone on their toes. Everyone is nervous as is, the man said as he pointed at the Aminin present in the room. Who are you? Sakura asked. I'm Yakashi Kabuto, but you are rookie, so it figures that you don't know this, Kabuto explained. Have I already tried the exam? Sakura asked. Actually, this is my 7th try, Kabuto explained sheepishly, rubbing the back of his head. Man, you must be weak, Kiba said. These exams aren't easy. Maybe we can share some information with you, Kabuto started and took a deck of cards out from his pockets. These are chakra cards. They react to my chakra signature and reveal the information. As you can see, these are teams from all the countries except Iwa and Kiri. As expected, Iwa hates Konoha and Kiri is in a civil war. I can also give you some information on anyone here, Kabuto concluded. And Naruto got suspicious. How could Kabuto have information on Shinwei from other villages? However, he decided to test his theories. Then, I want to know about Yukito of Kumo and Sabaku no Gara from Suna, asked Naruto, and Yukito crossed her arms. You could always ask, Yukito said. Yes, but you could lie, Naruto replied, and she huffed. Let's start with Sabaku no Gara, son of the Kazekage. His team is composed of his brother Sabaku no Kankuro and his sister Sabaku no Tamari, and her joint sensei, Baki. His skills are all unknown. He completed 10 D ranks, 15 C ranks, and 1 B rank. There is a note that says he returned from all missions without a scratch. Looks like there are some strong people this year, Kabuto said, and a few shivered. Now, Yukito from Kumo. She is on a team with Omo and Kaori, and her joint sensei is Killer Bee. The card shows that she has very good taijutsu and ninjutsu and has no talent in genjutsu. She completed 10 D ranks, 5 C ranks, and 2 B ranks. What is up with gains and their missions? Kabuto said, and Naruto chuckled. Now, I want some info about Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha, Yukito said, and Kabuto picked up a card. Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha. He is on a team with Hyuga Hinata and Aburane Shino under Yui Kurenai, Konoha's genjutsu mistress. He's the Academy dead last with low taijutsu, medium ninjutsu, and no talent in genjutsu, but there is a note that says he created an S-rank retitled jutsu. Kabuto started and everyone's eyes widened, and Yukito narrowed her eyes at him. Now missions. 65 D ranks, 14 C ranks, 1 B rank, 1 A rank, and what the hell is this? 2 S rank missions? Kabuto explained, and everyone's jaws were on the floor. A game with an S and A rank mission is unheard of. Naruto narrowed his eyes to Kabuto. One of those S rank missions was supposed to be a secret. That kid is a mystery, dead last against some high missions, Yukito thought. S ranks? How are you still alive? Kiba yelled. Keep it down, can't tell. S rank secret punishable by death, Naruto said. Everyone just stared at him. But I can't explain the other mission if anyone wants to Kenjutsu spar, Naruto said, smirking. Did you really create an S-rank Raiton Jutsu, Yukito asked? Raiton Jutsu is the village's specialty, and S-rank moves are rare, independent of the type. Naruto simply nodded, and everyone was having their doubts. It's true, I saw it, Kiba said, and everyone turned to him. It was awesome. He sent some white ball to the sky, and then thunders formed. Then he summoned commanded the fire, and he attacked the bridge and blew everything around it, killing about 100 thugs and destroyed the bridge, Kiba explained, and everyone stared at the blonde, who was getting uncomfortable and even more suspicious of Kabuto. If he's a dead last, I don't even want to know about the Rookie of the Year, Kabuto said, and Sasuke smirked gained a confidence boost.
You know, kids, he smells of snakes. Something isn't right here,
Kurama said, and Naruto made a mental note to send a spy fox later on. Silence! Now sit down and let's begin the exam, Ibiki yelled. Everyone quieted down and turned to face Ibiki, who was standing at the entrance of the room with a few Chunin around. Share your ID and pick your number to be seated, then we'll begin the written exam, Ibiki explained. Written exam? That sucks, Naruto thought. A few minutes later, everyone was seated with their tests in front of them, but face down. All around the classroom, Chunins with a few boards. Surprisingly enough, Hinata managed to sit right next to Naruto. This test has a few rules. Number 1, each one starts with 10 points. Each wrong question induces 1 point. Number 2, the total score is based on your whole team, Ibiki explained in a few gasps. Kiba, you better pass, otherwise I'll kill you, Sasuke thought. Poor Kiba, seeing the glares from his teammates, started to sweat. Number 3, each time you are caught cheating, you lose 2 points. Get caught 5 times and your team is automatically failed. The last question is answered last, so you have 45 minutes to answer 10 questions. Start, Ibiki said. Naruto picked up his pencil and turned his sheet only to be faced with extremely hard questions. What the hell is this? These aren't questions for Genin, Naruto thought and looked around the classroom. Everyone seemed to be lost except for a few that were writing. I know some, but I bet 90% of the people here can't answer a single one. Something isn't right here, Naruto thought and began pondering what Ibiki said. Naruto knew that Ibiki was the leader of the torture and interrogation division, and he focused on mental torture. If you get caught cheating, you lose points. Now I get it. We are meant to cheat, but without getting caught. Must be some information gathering exercise, Naruto thought and looked around the classroom. He noticed that Hinata had her Byakugan activated and was already starting to write. Chunin was using his bug to scout for anyone with answers. Kiba was using Akamaru that was on his head and high enough to spot someone else's sheet. Tenten was using mirrors on the ceiling so she could get the reflection from under Genin. Sakura was writing since she was a bookworm. She could easily answer the exam. Sasuke had Sharingan activated and was copying someone's hand movements. Naruto waited a few minutes until he spotted someone lowering their exam sheet, signaling that he was finished. They must have placed a few Chunins around to answer exams, Naruto thought. Now, how to cheat? I want to copy hand movements. That's lame. I know, Naruto thought, and activated his EMS and very quickly used his Kamui and sent his own sheet to his own personal pocket dimension. Naruto focused on the Chunin sheet and used his Kamui to swap papers. Naruto took the sheet from his personal dimension and placed it on the table. He simply erased the Chunin's name and wrote his own. Naruto lowered his head and decided to sleep until the first part of the exams was over. Now that the week are sorted out, let's begin the last question. However, this one has its own rule. Ibiki started and everyone focused on him. Number 1. You can choose whether or not you want to answer the question, Ibiki said. What happens if you choose not to answer it, Temari asked. If you choose not to answer it, you will automatically fail, Ibiki explained. Then of course you will answer it, someone replied. However, if you choose to answer it and get it wrong, you will fail and forever be unable to retake the Chunin exams, meaning you'll be Genin for life, Ibiki explained. What? Someone yelled. You can't do that. There are people in here who are retaking the exam, Kiba said. I guess you guys have bad luck. My test, my rules. If you don't want to risk it, then give up, Ibiki said, and everyone started pondering and a few started leaving. A few minutes later, Ibiki noticed that Naruto was almost half asleep and tossed a kunai that lay in front of him. Naruto didn't even flinch. Wake up, Naruto, Ibiki yelled. Just get it over with, Naruto said, and Ibiki raised an eyebrow. I don't give up and I never surrender. Even if I stay Genin for life, then I'll be the first Genin Hokage, Naruto said, smirking. Ibiki looked around the room and noticed that the rest of the Genins got somewhat inspired by his little speech. If no one wants to leave, then there's only one last thing to say. You all pass, Ibiki said. What? Why? Kiba asked. You seem to have figured it out, Ibiki said, pointing to Naruto. He sighed and said, the first part of the exam was information gathering. If you recall, Ibiki said, if we get caught cheating, we lose points. That could only mean that we were meant to cheat without getting caught. Information is half the battle. Last part was to know if we had the guts to be a Chunin. You can't abandon a mission just because it might be hard. A Chunin is expected to lead, and as so, he must inspire confidence and courage in his team, Naruto explained. Most rookies stared at him as if he grew a second head. Precisely, Ibiki said, until something came crashing through the window. Everyone watched as someone entered flying through the windows. As it reached the middle of the classroom, it opened to show a woman. She sent 2 kunais to the ceiling to secure what appeared to be a sign. Protect her the second round. Meet, Anko started yelling, but was cut off by Naruto. Oi, Anko, Naruto said, waving his arm. Damn it, Naruto, you ruined my entrance, Anko said, yelling at him. Come on, don't be mad, Anko-chan, Naruto said, with emphasis on the last part. I'll kill you later, brat. Now everyone to train ground 44. Be there in 20 minutes or you fail. Go! Anko said, and everyone left the room in a hurry. Naruto and I just Shunshin there. And that is the end of the last chapter of this video, chapter 13. This was a long video, and honestly, I really probably would prefer not to do this again, but I mean, not stop fan figurines like this with Legacy and stuff like that, but kind of not to read all those long chapters that will take me a long time to record and edit. So again, I probably will actually cut down on chapters unless I'm fully 100% sure the chapters are short, so that way I can make it a bit easier for myself and still give you guys a nice experience, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I think I'm gonna approach the series moving forward, because I thought I could do like the expansion of going like 3 to 4 to 5, but I just had to cut it down. It just was way too much, and I did not want this to be like a 4-hour video. That'd be just insane. So yeah, but anyways, thank you guys for watching this fanfic reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, I apologize for kind of cutting the chapters down for this fanfic reading, but again, I just had to make this easier for myself, especially to edit. So again, I'm probably going to read chapters 14 through whatever at a certain point though, so you guys should expect that pretty soon, and that will allow this series to keep going. So yeah, it should be pretty fun. And anyways, expect nuclear release Naruto on Saturday or Sunday, depends on how long it takes for me to write the script, and expect some more content in between. I think you're gonna like what I have in store for you guys. Oh yeah, and also Spider-Man Deku, that'll be pretty cool as well. Anyways, no, first off, go watch the community tab like a hawk. That's really important. Number 2, again, follow me on Twitter, @stage4, Instagram, @stage4, and of course, show me Discord server. Again, those are all great places for me to follow me, specifically Twitter for extra pair of notifications, and also Discord because it also acts on our way to get notified my videos. And all those places are great ways for you guys to interact with me, as well as the fact that I'm very active on Twitter, and I'm pretty decently active on Discord, and I do post some funny memes on Instagram. So again, just follow me on all those platforms, or join, since Discord included. And yeah, that should be about it, well, except for a couple things. First off, shout out my 10-hour patrons and my 50-hour patron Anguish, and thank you all for 31k subscribers. I really do appreciate that. And I do want to thank you guys for a really great year, and also Merry Christmas, because yeah, I'm pretty sure you're really gonna like your gift, because this is a lot of content. And anyways, that's about it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share the video. This has been your boy, the Anime Sage, signing out. Peace, Yorta. Let's get to 32k, and I'm signing out. Peace, Yorta. Stephanie Shea closes us out. Bye bye. Peace.
Hi, this is Stephanie Shea, voice actress for Sailor Moon, Hinata, Orihime, and you are watching Anime Sage.